and subscribe.
Hi. How's it going? I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Sorry to bother you.
Oh, no worries.
My name is Jameson. My team and I are in the neighborhood fighting to protect immigrant rights. So it's something you care about.
No.
Who is it?
It's Squidward.
How do I know it's you?
Open the door, Nick!
I can't dissect this pig, Mr. Kingman. It's against my religion.
Believe me, Neil, it's no thrill for the pig to touch a Jew either.
I know he doesn't look like much, but he could go back to crime. Just like that.
Oh shit, it's only 300. Damn!
I will carry out great vengeance on them and punish them in my wrath. Then they will know that I am the Lord when I take vengeance on them. For it is written, it is mine to avenge. I will repay. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction.
I guess I clock it if the shoes go missing, fine. I'll make a lane, I'll walk it. All I need is faith, boy. All I need is floor. One step, then two step, here. The whole room roar. No lace, no shame, no fear. I came to collect right here. Big toe money, take money for that. Keeps going on for the summer. Big toe money. All I need is peace, boy. I beg God, God. I beg God, God. So paint chips still shining, mud on the soul still climbing. Count that change with my pinky, make a grip when the night get windy. Barefoot king with the grin on me. Every scar got the wind on me. They said stop, but I said no. Watch me flip that spin on me. All I need is feet, boy. All I need is four. One step, then two step, hit the whole room roar. No lace, no shame, no fear. I came to collect right here. Big toe money, take money for the kids go dumb for the summer. Big toe money. All I need is feet, boy. I bet God, God. I bet God, God. Barefoot grit, I bite that curb. Toe first flex, make the whole crowd surge. Count my coins with the heel mark stab. Money road vibe, I don't need no rap. Big glow. Watch me make it grow. Big toe money, take money for the kids go dumb for the summer. Big toe money, all I need is feet, boy. I bet God, God. I bet God, God.
Ladies and gentlemen, hope you're having a wonderful evening. We are back yet again. Unfortunately, it is Monday, which means that we have Monday Madness, which in this case is Black Queens getting their channels taken down by Jeets, who then push crypto scams. And hopefully, we'll get into that in just a minute, but hopefully it has a positive outcome eventually. We've got certain people wanting to read to your children in the gun space, which is interesting. All right, we'll talk about that for sure. We have Brass Facts going on a rampage, or at least someone approximating Brass Facts. And then we've got Unfortunately, we have entered a new era of the gun industry, or at least the YouTube gun industry, where people buy companies, although that might not entirely be true, and they make rifles, although that might not entirely be true, and they save you money, which also probably is not particularly true either. So there's just a lot of things that we could talk about there, and I'm sure that we will. We got Bravo Company USA bringing out a AR-9 in 2026. All right, fair enough. Very cool of you, BCM. Steiner finally updating their red dots, and men of no consequence. Well, how about a little bit of consequences for you, okay? Because we got Stokermatic piping up again, which is very funny after the last time he did so with Matt Pranka. We actually covered that on this stream as well. Had a very, very hilarious outcome. And then there's assorted rage bait and other silly stuff to get to. But while we're here, we might as well introduce the man, the myth, the legend, Jake Zorps, known for his toes, and Richard, known for his exceedingly witty takes, poignant philosophy, and getting paid exactly $1 per word.
Wow. That's a pretty good ratio, honestly.
It's probably accurate. Guys, that might not even be incorrect.
It's probably pretty close to it.
That was $10 right there. I can't believe that, guys. Whew. Oh, buddy, I need a new agent. This is awful. But how is your guys' week going so far? I know that Richard obviously has not had the greatest weekend of all time, but I hope that you're doing well, man. Hope that things are getting a little bit easier for you. Jake, Richard, how's it going?
Well, it was a little rough coming home from work today, but day by day.
Yep, 100%. Jake?
My day has been all right. Week has been a little hectic, but I think I've fully recovered from the Halo madness, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go now.
Gosh dang it. You had to remind me of that 6-hour stream that we did on Friday.
Sorry.
That was miserable. But you know what else is miserable? Indians, okay? And fishing links and all that other stuff, because they got him. All right. They got our Black Queen, Vintage Warfare. The scammers scammed him successfully. We got Boomer Warfare over here getting his entire YouTube account with 320,000 subscribers hacked and deleted off of YouTube, off the face of the internet, because he clicked on a fake sponsor link. Now, that happens. All right. It's terrible. It's awful. Vintage, obviously, he probably gets more of these emails than I do, but I get these emails probably a couple a day, and they're just, oh, hey, sponsor this, sponsor that. They're all asking for money. And since I simply don't take any sponsors, I don't even click those, right? They just get deleted immediately. But if you're like, sponsorships are part of how you get paid, part of how you make money, obviously you have a higher propensity to click on those emails and maybe click on a link. And if you click on that link, the wrong one, is going to brick your computer, steal all your keys, and then magically your YouTube account just starts posting cringe. So Vintage today said, Team YouTube, my YouTube account got hacked. Please assist. Accidentally opened fake sponsor link. Knew the moment I opened it, I was cooked. And then what's funny is that not only did the people who hacked his YouTube account immediately start pushing XRP price prediction crypto coin scam nonsense, but they also started immediately view botting. And honestly, like, if it wasn't for the view bot, maybe you should just let them cook, Vintage, okay? Because 6,000 people watching live is pretty darn good, okay? So maybe hold up. Yeah, they stole your account and everything, but maybe we just give them a minute to see what they do, okay? Because those are some real numbers, all right? Now, obviously, that's just view botting.
Yeah, let them cook a little bit.
Yeah, so, maybe the Pajeets can actually get something done over there, man. They got some real motion, okay? Don't hate a guy for playing the game, so to speak.
Austin, if you're watching, you got to take the screenshot from that thumbnail and reuse it for your own live stream.
That's true. Once you get your channel back, this has to be like a thumbnail, but instead of like XRP, it's something else that's more relevant to your channel. So they're uploading crypto slop. Can you please do something about this? Please read DMs. Now, getting a response from YouTube, getting them to actually do something to help you, good luck, bro. Good luck. It is not an easy task to get them to do anything to actually benefit you unless you know people. All right. So, following up after that, for view botting, for the crypto scams, for pushing links within I don't know, a 12-hour period, not only was Vintage's account hacked, not only was it streaming view botted slop, not only was it uploading crypto scams, but it got immediately banned. So that is how fast YouTube reacts to like bad links or scams, but they won't like obviously this is not the owner of the account that, is verified and has 320,000 subs. Obviously this is not that person. Maybe we should just lock the account and, reach out to the person who actually owns it. That would be reasonable to do. But no, instead they just banned the channel. So that within a 12-hour period, the Indians hacked his channel, started streaming to 6K viewers, and then immediately got the channel banned for, of course, violating terms and conditions. Now, Team YouTube has kind of responded to him. They've DM'd him a little bit. They've filed the paperwork, email forms to try and get it back. But more importantly, way more importantly, is if you have somebody who actually has pull with YouTube, and by pull, I mean like 1 million subs or more, and they have like a direct contact at YouTube that you can say, hey, my buddy just got his channel hacked and removed. Obviously, it wasn't him violating YouTube TOS. Can you please reinstate his channel and give him the login information, right? And Brandon Herrera here says, I'll look into it. And so apparently everything has been filed and they're working through the back end, which the back end of YouTube, I mean, I don't think anyone really wants to go anywhere near that at this point in time, considering it's spaghetti code written by people who no longer understand it. So good luck to Vintage. He should get his channel back. I talked to him a little bit today. I'm optimistic that he'll get his channel back. He also does have Vintage's Void to upload to right now, which is his backup channel. So I would imagine Vintage will have his channel back. He will be uploading once a quarter again, and you can get your bi-yearly video from Austin on whatever topic that it happens to be. So worry not, people out there. Okay, people, loose term out there. You will be able to watch your Black Queen once again. The Black Queen will rise.
With the
Not
name
the Black Sun.
With the name Vintage's Void, I would think that it's a channel dedicated to his like post-op transition journey.
First one is axe wound durability test.
Oh gosh. Now, can he still upload to Vintage's Void because the first channel was taken down because of a TOS violation? So will he be able to upload?
Well, no, the first channel wasn't taken down because are you talking about just now? Because originally he got demonetized permanently because of a song that played in one of his videos that's like a terrorist anthem in Russia or something like that. I have no idea how any of that stuff works. It was in the background of another video. It wasn't like he's just it wasn't like him playing that song. It was like in the background of somebody else's video that he was reacting to, and that original video is still on YouTube. So he got demonetized for that, eventually got his monetization back, and then today got his whole channel banned by clicking on links from Indians, which I never recommend doing. Much like their rivers, they're quite polluted, all right? All right. Now, other things. We had goals this weekend. Did you guys see all of the cool, exciting things coming out of goal this weekend? The mini shot show, the public shot show, so to speak. Did any of you guys follow the news of what's cool and happening over there?
I only saw one thing, and I think it's the thing we're going to talk about.
Just one little thing.
Just one thing.
You should be happy to know, because it is, of course, a public event. You can drop off your kids at the Kid Zone. And one of the readers that they had there was Yehuda Remmer, the Pew Pew Jew, for Kid Zone story time. So where your kids could learn about the Holocaust or something like that. Now, this to me is just weird and terrible and awful optics, and you should never do this. Ever, 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 right? Because let all jokes aside. Okay, I don't know Pew Pew Jew. I know some people who know him and like him, and seems like a nice find. However, all right, this would be the same thing as some sort of imam reading to your children. It's like, no, we don't do that here. We're American. We're not whatever this thing is. We're not having, pick your nonsense satanic religion, right? Whether it's Judaism, Islam, or any of the other false ones out there. Spoiler alert, they're all false other than Christianity, of course. So it's just like anything outside of that, just absolutely not. This is your based two-way public shot show. Drop your kids off here to learn about the Holocaust. It's like, what does this have to do with the whole gold gun things? It's just really terrible optics.
You wish
Such
he was going to
awful
teach them about the
optics.
Holocaust. He's going to teach them about, he's going to say, you know, kids, we actually pioneered transgenderism.
Yeah, you know, he was a Jewish doctor who created the fake tits. All right. So anytime you see a girl with fake tits, remember to thank a Jew for that. All right, kids. That's crazy. Anyways, you know, well, let's not talk about the Hays Code yet. Okay. Anyways, Goals Con says calling all families. Kids Zone Storytime is happening at Goals IO 2026. Join Yehuda Remmer, the Pew Pew Jew, for a fun and meaningful story time on August 2nd at 11:30 a.m. Don't miss it. 100 likes on the post. Almost, you know, a good chunk of the comments have more likes than the post. And a terrifying 3.5 to 1 ratio on comments to likes. Like, man, you could not do a worse job of marketing your goals thing than being. It's the same thing as if they put a tranny up to teach your children or to read to your children at one of these things. It's like, no, that's you don't understand the space that you're operating in here, right? The mood has shifted. We're not cool with this stuff anymore. You know, the boomers who you've had like a death grip on for the last 80 years for some reason. Talk about that later. They kind of don't exist anymore. You know, they're literally aging out. So that demographic that again has been your stronghold, and a little bit of Gen X as well, not so influential anymore. So doing this kind of thing is just stupid. Big, dumb, stupid. Mod O Memes, who sent it to me, says this has done irreparable damage to goals and GOA. I wouldn't say irreparable, because you have to remember that all these big organizations, like, they're still run by retarded people. Okay, like you're gonna see a lot of this. This doesn't shock me at all. I just think it's funny and it's terrible optics, so I'm gonna mock you for it, and in hopes that you don't make the same mistake in the future. Reed says, "Oh man, that's something. GOA is gonna get subverted." Who booked this and said, "Yeah, the community will love this"? That's a good question. Good question. Burning Israeli flag with double the likes of the post itself, of course. No idea how I ended up following a juice platforming account, but unfollowing now. Oof. Sorry, goals. It's a very easy, hard pass. Agreeing on something doesn't make them an ally. Christ is king. Based. Is this a joke? It is not. The guy's promotion, 27 words. I've got 14 words I think are just as important. Based. Jew up the GOA. Drag queen story hour over IDF story hour. Now that's interesting. Would you rather have your kids listen to a drag queen talk about gay gender affirming nonsense, or a Jew talk to them and subvert your religion and your way of life? Like, I'm not sure actually which one's worse, because
you're asking about having two Jews read to my child.
That's true. Good point. So, spoiler alert, they're both Jews. Trick question.
I'd probably rather have Yehuda read to my children, but that's a really bad scenario that I don't want to be involved in.
Spoiler alert.
Because I don't want my...
Which one's on the sex offender registry? Spoiler alert. Both. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know anything. I don't have anything bad to say about Yehuda specifically.
Who knows? Maybe he's a really nice guy. Maybe he's a swell guy, you know? And he's taking precious time out of his day to read a story to all the Gentiles.
Kid Zone and Pew Pew Jew don't mix. Well, keep your kids far away from this event. Christ is king. Almost accidentally discharged my firearm running to the comments. Yeah, did y'all get hijacked? Does GOA mean Goyim of America? That's a good one. Hitting that one right there. Christ is king. What are his thoughts on Israel? Yeah, too bad. There's one positive comment. One positive comment from a woman. Cringe. Yeah, 600 likes. Jeez. No thanks. Tell him I said Christ is king, though. Based. Anyways, yeah, just awful marketing, guys. Don't do that. Such a stupid, like, waste of time. I mean, or if you're going to do that, I don't know, like, maybe crop out the kippah and, like, his tag, you know? Maybe just don't make it quite so... It would have been so funny if they, like, edit it to where you couldn't see the yarmulke or his actual tag, you know? And it was just like, oh, that's a really Semitic sounding name. That's funny, but no, they didn't do it. Trench grenade, pew pew Jew collaboration when? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't think Trench is a big fan. All right, I don't think he's a big fan right now. Anyways, or at least maybe that's just the popular thing for him to believe right now. But guys, I did not have this on my bingo card. We had Brass Facts committing a mass casualty event in 2026 before GTA 6. We have Brass Facts like he saw Yehuda Remmer at goals and was like, I'm taking this into my own hands. The Goyim have gone too far. You know what the Goyim love? In and out. In and out is the place to be. It's time to eradicate the Goyim. I've seen enough. Give me my AR or give me strap me to a Toyota and send me to In and Out or whatever that saying is. Did Hop leave him? That's
it's possible.
He walks through the drive-through. Brass Facts here. Time to ballistic test your windshield, bro. Oh. But, okay, this is an interesting one. What are you guys' thoughts on the whole Idaho shooting and response and the person who is responsible for saving additional people, I would guess?
That's a big question. That's a lot in one question. I was going to just start out by covering this AI-enhanced image that is absolutely terrible.
It's very funny though.
It's
only
very
because of the
bad.
context of, the gun industry and, YouTube stuff. That's all. Not brass, no LPVO. Yeah, well, if you notice, this thing is a horrifying monstrosity. Like, look at his hand melding through the hand guard somehow over top. Like, obviously, whenever the people post like AI enhanced photos as if they're the real thing, you're like, bro, like, it's not. It's remixing it with a large language model, and it's just creating a new image, essentially a remix of what you have there. It's not actually like the image upscaled to 4K. All right, bro. Sorry, dog.
Definitely not. But yeah, I mean, it was obviously a tragic thing. I would hate to be involved in it. It's kind of scary to think about. Just
you would
being
hate to be involved as the shooter or as the defender?
Yes, both, John. No,
both,
just
really? Okay.
The idea of going to a drive-through to get some food, and all of a sudden someone shows up and starts shooting a AR-15 at you. And this is one of the examples I would give to all those people who say, "Oh, I'm just going out of the house for a little bit. I'll leave my gun at home." You're actually retarded if you do that. You never know when this kind of thing can happen. When Brass Facts might just, it's his last straw. He's finally over it. He says, "Frick it all. I'm getting my gun." And he starts firing.
"Gosh dang it, I'm taking this into my own hands."
Yeah.
All right.
And
maybe honestly, maybe we should have a little more compassion on the shooter. Like, what if they forgot his fries? Or gave him like really stale fries? Like, In-N-Out fries aren't very good to begin with. Maybe they were really bad.
Yeah.
Justified crash out.
But I mean,
I won't go that far.
Here's the thing. If you're going to leave your own protection, your own safety up to some other third party who might be there to help you, there's a chance you're going to end up with a guy with a 5.7 protecting you. And I don't know if I like those odds. At least, we can assume that it was very brave of him to step up. I know we haven't even gotten to that point yet. It was brave of him to step up. He put himself in harm's way when he didn't need to in order to preserve the life of others, which is very admirable. It's the wet dream of every guy on here, I would assume. But I'm not a huge fan of his gun choice, but regardless. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm being a little jovial here but at the same time, I want to be extremely cautious because I think people are going to take very, very, very bad lessons from this. So Jordan Salinas here is a gentleman who responded to the active shooter in the drive-thru, responded pretty famously now with a 5.7 suppressed handgun. Very interesting choice. Perhaps the first time a documented NFA item has been used in defense of the public during a mass casualty event. I believe it's the first time it's at least been documented.
Unless it was a cop.
Well, right, but that, I suppose, civilian shooting in terms of defense. Now, he has a YouTube channel. I believe it's called Poverty Tactical, and you'll see,
Poverty Operator.
poverty operator. Okay. He has a bunch of wacky, weird setups, and he gets out there and he does train and he does quote unquote LARP. But as PNW says, it's all LARP until it's not. And on this date, it was not for this guy. So he absolutely did step up and do what he could and got the guy to back off and eventually self-delete, which is mega base. Thank you to the shooter for self-deleting rather than wasting our tax dollars with a whole like trial nonsense and whatnot. So thank you for having the courtesy to self-delete. But the reason why I'm cautious about this is this could have very easily gone nowhere and gotten himself killed, because I don't want to say this rudely, but the guy is not, I don't know if he did anything to the actual shooter other than be a body shooting back, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it hasn't even been confirmed that he hit the shooter. I think that he shot at the shooter and engaged him, which is very brave, very commendable to put yourself in harm's way. Not taking that away at all. But in terms of actually being effective, I don't know if he actually did anything other than, again, basically suppressive fire, move the guy out of the way. And then two other police officers, I believe, one off-duty cop engaged him, and then a second cop engaged him at a later point in time, and then he eventually killed himself, which is like, okay, talking about the shooter. All right, so when gunshots rang out at a Twin Falls In-N-Out, Jordan Salinas shot back. Jordan Salinas and his girlfriend had planned a quiet Saturday, starting with horseback riding in Hagerman, safely out of cell phone range. They'd stop for lunch in Twin Falls, he thought, then hit the highway west. All was going according to plan. Salinas pulled into the In-N-Out Burger off Blues Lake around 2:30 p.m. Chaos followed as he saw scores of people fleeing through the doors. He figured it was a kitchen fire, and then he heard the pop, pop, pop of gunfire. Salinas ran towards it, an automatic response, mechanical, he'd say later. The last thing he remembers hearing was his girlfriend shouting his name, and then the shooting started again. Now, again, there are, I don't know, what are you guys' takes on that? Automatic response, mechanical, hearing his girlfriend shout his name.
I don't really care about any of that. Like it's kind of, to me, it's a little cringe, but
right, because I'm like, it seems a little it seems weird to say performative, because he actually did go out there and do the thing.
He did it. So
yeah, so it's not performative, and maybe it happened exactly like that, but maybe dramatized.
A little dramatized. He might be, it might be a little dramatized. He is a YouTuber, so
True. I mean,
the territory, I suppose.
YouTubers do suck, as we've discussed.
He's using the language, and then the media picked up on it and then made sure to highlight it, is what I think happened here.
Oh, sorry, you were hyper hot there, Richard. Sorry.
Really?
Salinas reached for his shoulder holster and drew an FN57, blah, 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 with a suppressor and some sort of light on the front end. So Salinas is a healthcare worker and full-time caregiver of his wheelchair-bound brother. Very nice of him. He began training seriously after the 2021 shooting at Boise Town Square Mall, killed 2 shoppers and injured 4 more. Gunman, he went after soft targets, a person in a wheelchair, and the aide at his side would be as soft as they come, he reasoned. He started taking his training seriously that day. He told Idaho Statesman he shoots on weekends and trains in the desert outside of Eden, a small town in eastern Jerome County. He never pointed his gun at so much as an animal, and never thought he'd need to use anything he practiced, yet he drilled the 4-step approach borrowed from the military every week, always the same. Observe, orient, decide, and act. All right. He did not like it when the bullet started firing both ways, Salinas said on Sunday morning. Salinas says he felt no fear before, during, or after firing. He had 4 steps to remember, and he followed them one at a time. The return fire drove the shooter from the drive-thru toward an open parking lot at the city's visitor center. Williams later died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, Twin Falls Police Chief Matthew Hicks said Sunday. These people are true heroes in our community, Johnson said of Salinas and the other man who returned fire, which was an off-duty cop. So a lot of the narrative that I've seen is because of this picture, right? Is because of the video, because of the suppressed nature, the 5.7 handgun. It's kind of iconic in that way. But the other off-duty cop, who I believe engaged the shooter first, or I might be getting the order of events there, is just as heroic as this guy for putting his life on the line there. And people are kind of skipping over that because, of course, of the interesting nature of the gentleman here. All right. So, anyways, he talks about that. Salinas' part in the shootout took 2 or 3 minutes, he said, as Williams retreated. Sirens shrieked down Blue Lakes. When police spilled into the plaza, Salinas stood down and let them go to work. My part, he thought, is done, which is correct. So, yeah, it's a very interesting event. Unfortunately, 3 people were killed. 2 are still in critical condition, and then I believe there's 4 more in hospital right now. The suspect has taken himself out, which is perfectly fine. And we have no confirmation on like, was the shooter injured by Salinas or by the off-duty cop or any of the other responding officers? We don't know any of that yet.
Which is,
we don't really have any. Sorry, go ahead.
Which, by the way, that's the crazy part, is I've heard a lot of people state, like, for a fact, he missed every single shot and did nothing. That's not a fact. It's
well,
just kind
okay,
of...
but there is a reason why I'm cautious about this.
Yeah.
Is because we could very easily find out that Salinas or the off-duty cop shot someone else in the attempt to put the shooter down. Right, which is why and I'm not blaming him for, like, some bystander running in the background or something like that. But if you have a lot of people running and fleeing, and again, the skills that this guy has are probably better than the average person, of course, but not like what we would consider like super high level. He did what was right, but that's why I'm just being a little cautious, because I don't want it to come out. You're praising this guy's heroic actions and saying he's doing the best, he's doing fantastic, and then be like, actually he shot somebody while attempting to shoot, the actual active shooter there, right? So that's why I'm just being a little cautious here.
Yeah, I guess my whole take on the situation is, like, regardless of what the outcome is, he still made the choice to intervene. He provided suppressive fire at the very least. He, I would assume, diverted the attention of the shooter from killing more innocent people, and he received fire too. Like, he was there in that clip, you can see him dodging shots.
Oh yeah, no, he basically jumps into the bushes.
Yeah, so like, I'm gonna give him kudos for that. It's, if you step up to do something like that, you are accepting the fact that you very well could hit a bystander. Even if you have a perfect shot that goes straight through center mass of the perpetrator, there could be a bystander behind him that you didn't see behind a bush, and you hit them, and then boom, you're in trouble. Whenever you whenever you step up and do something like that, you're accepting the risks that come along with it. Sure. You kind of have to say, if I get involved in stopping a shooting, I'm just going to accept the fact that I might end up going to prison, but it's worth it because I'm going to be doing something that will preserve life, and make an effort to preserve life. So I think this guy's very, very brave, and hopefully everything turns out all right for him.
the bystanders were bad guys, trust. Yeah, JC has a good point, though. He has now taken more fire than trench grenade.
That's true.
So that is true. He has more active duty. We joke about active duty combat deployments to like Wendy's or whatnot, but that actually was, pretty much an active combat zone in and out. So yeah, John, he should get a deployment badge for that.
They've both taken fire. Salinas has taken actual fire. Trench grenade has just taken loads. So there's a little bit of a difference, but they're both equally as intense.
Well, I'll take your word for it. I haven't seen these videos, but you seem to have reviewed the footage quite a bit. So I will. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, Bojangles got his CIB at 5 guys. True.
5 guys. That sounds like a horrible time.
He has more. He has more than Trench and GT combined. Yeah, anyways, so Fearless Patriot Salinas posted on Facebook: "Train like your life depends on it." 2 years ago, because God forbid one day it might, and then it ends up doing exactly that 2 years later. Which again. This is, as you pointed out earlier, this is kind of like every gun guy's fantasy, is to be the guy who gets to step up and engage the active shooter. Like, especially if you carry a gun every day, like you're like, oh, just waiting. Why couldn't it be me? Just waiting. Okay. So if you do watch this footage again, you should go check it out. It's Poverty Operator, correct?
Yep.
I mean, he's got some pretty drippy stuff. Obviously, a 5.7 suppressed. I think he has like an F2000 with all of the gizmos on it. Have you seen
cursed. It's a little cursed.
It's very cursed, which is why I want to be careful and be like, this guy did a good thing. He stepped up. He absolutely put his life on the line, but don't necessarily emulate everything he did. He did enough to get the job done, to get the shooter away. but there's still there's other takeaways you can have. Today, he helped save the lives of countless civilians from an active shooter at an In-N-Out in Twin Falls, Idaho. What's chilling is that the very Facebook post from 2 years ago, he is posed in the exact same way, holding what appears to be the same gun that he used to save the lives of countless individuals today. Again, good on him for actually getting out there and LARPing. LARPing is not a bad thing. Getting out there and actually shooting your guns, actually practicing, not a bad thing, okay? All right? Despite whatever Mike said it might tell you, it's actually chill. All right, Havoc21 had this post. Go ahead.
This guy puts in more training than most people in the chat, so it's just objectively.
That is true. That is true. Also, yes, you can practice MMA at Waffle House for free. Mutual combat zones. We actually need to create mutual combat zones, right? Have you guys seen where in Chicago where two guys will fight it out and then the judge will be like, well, they were engaged in mutual combat, so we're going to let them both go. We just need to have if we're going to play these stupid games, let's just have mutual combat zones where you can go into, and it's kind of like its own little thing. Okay. Not, whatever happens in there stays in there. You come out and it's like a DMZ. Okay. It's not really our problem what you guys do in there. Just do your thing and get out.
They have one. It's called Oregon.
Wait, Portland, Oregon? Is that what you said?
No, it's Oregon has mutual combat. This is
a lot of states do. A couple states.
Yeah. Anyway, so Havoc21 posts this, which is I kind of agree with some of the stuff on here. I've tried to write this about 30 times. Here it goes. What's good? This guy had the courage to stand up and fight. He put others before himself and had the tools on him to do something he had trained to a degree, which is correct. What's bad? His courageous effort wasn't effective. Edit wasn't effective in stopping the threat immediately. To be clear, positive effect was still had in disrupting him. So I suppose this is the part where people, even myself, are latching on to, where it's maximum perfect outcome would be actually putting the shooter down, right? Immediately, However, again, still getting him to stop shooting at civilians, taking the fire, literally taking the fire yourself because he's now engaging you rather than other people. Even just that is very heroic. Even if you did it without a gun, if you just started running at him, shouting, throwing things at him, and he starts shooting at you, even that is very courageous and effective because, again, you're taking fire that could have been going to someone else. So what can we learn? Training is good, but not all training is created equal. At the end of the day, effectiveness is the final judge. You can never train too hard, always push for better. Having the courage to fight comes first. Having the skill to match that courage is equally important. And that last part, I agree, okay? Because a lot of people think that they buy the gun, they have the gear, they look cool, they feel cool, and they think that that's where it ends. And they think that they will magically rise to the occasion and be able to, be the sheepdog response, to be the lion among the sheep, or whatever, the cringe saying is. But it actually takes a lot of practice and a lot of training to be effective with these tools at a high enough level to modify someone's behavior at a distance, right? I believe the reported distance of the engagement was about 25 yards, right? Which is not a short distance for pistols. For 99% of people, that would be a difficult shot. That would be a stress-inducing shot, regardless of the fact that you have bullets coming back at you, which I imagine does increase your stress levels even more. So, spoiler alert, if you can't shoot at 25 yards with no stress, it's magically not going to get any better when you got bullets flying back at you. I would imagine, all right? And so, let's see.
I see someone in the chat saying Eli Dickens didn't miss. Yes, he did miss. He only hit, what did he hit? 8 out of 10 shots.
I think it was 8 out of 10. The first few shots were at 40, and then they consecutively got closer and closer.
Yeah.
So being shot at increases cortisol levels. True. Now, what's funny is if you go to his post from 2 years ago, he's shooting at 20 yards, and he's shooting at a torso target, triple tapping in 1.3 seconds. That's fine. 1 Bravo, 2 Charlies on a silhouette at 20 yards, which, again, that's not in the A zone. A zone would be basically right here. So listen, 5.7, you guys can argue about your calibers all you want, but I don't care what caliber it is. If it's not in this box or this box, it's not very effective with a pistol, with a few exceptions. All right. But if it's not somewhere in here, somewhere in this zone here, and right here with a pistol, not effective. So if you shoot somebody 3 times, in the side with 5.7, maybe 1 in the arm or shoulder, just not going to do all that much. So yeah, having the abilities, it's not just about having the tools. It's not just about having the desire to help other people, but it's about having the ability to actually use those things effectively. So, I mean, honestly, it's better to have 2 out of 3 of those things than 0 out of 3 of those things. You know, it's like the ability, the desire, and the gear, right? If you have the ability and the desire, but no gear, it's like, well, that's not going to help you very much. You kind of just need all 3 of them. But it's better to have 2 out of 3 than 0 out of 3.
Everyone's saying aim at the pelvis, aim at the groin. That's true. Aiming at the pelvis and the groin are very effective areas to hit, even with a pistol, but they're not immediate. They might make the shooter fall over. They might not be able to stand if you break the pelvis, but they're still alive. They're going to be alive for quite a while, and they still have a gun.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of squirty boys down there.
yeah, but I mean,
Well,
they're still going to have like a mid.
I don't know. I've thought about this because it's like, obviously I have a higher level of pistol shooting skills than like most people on the planet, but I'm still just going to aim for the chest center mass, or should opportunity present itself, the light switch, right?
Yeah.
That's just it. I'm not doing any of the weird wacky stuff like, oh, I'm going to disarm the guy. No, I'm going to shoot him in the leg so he can't run away. No, that's what I'm going to do. You don't get it, guys. I'm a super cracked thought.
The only true off switch is like that T zone, right? Because even if you hit him in the head, but you don't hit him in the
well, yeah, you can shoot somebody in the jaw or the ear
Yeah.
or lots of places in the head and not kill them. Like I'm talking about, there's like a 2x4 inch square, not 4. It's like 1.5 by 3 inch square here, and then a little bit down. So like basically a minor T zone.
Yeah, but I mean, the pelvic girdle is really only something that you should be shooting at if it's the only thing that presents, or if the person is wearing armor.
Well,
I don't know. Aiming for the groin is just like, why am I aiming for a weird spot on the guy's body? Like when I should just be aiming like center mass.
It's just
I can't remember who it was, but it was a trainer who said that the pelvic zone is the first thing that you come across when you're leveling your pistol to shoot. So you start shooting there and you work your way up if it is a true defensive situation.
I'm sorry, what?
When you're drawing,
You're basically saying like if you're a low ready. Yeah,
the pelvic zone is the first thing that you come across when you're trying to level your sights to take the shot.
I believe you may have ingested some FUD lore. I don't know if that's how most people draw nowadays, especially from concealment.
No, I heard someone say that. It was
okay, yeah, because I wouldn't
remember who the trainer was.
I
can't remember who the guy was.
Sonny Pazitska.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like if you're picking a spot, like my vision is locked on like where I want to shoot. So unless I'm staring at his crotch, that's not where the dot or the sight is going to pop up first. The sight is going to pop up where I'm looking on the guy, right?
Yeah, the pelvic girdle is not the primary location that you want to shoot somebody.
No. Dude, Modern Frontier Project is going way harder than I did. I thought I was being too hard, but no. Modern Frontier Project says praising this guy for training, quote unquote, but missing every shot at 25 yards with subsonic 5.7 is crazy. Well, are we sure that it was subsonic 5.7?
No, we're not. We don't. Okay,
are we sure that he missed every shot?
Modern Frontier Project. We don't know he missed every shot, and we don't know it's subsonic. Just because he had a video where he shot subsonic, like there's a video of me shooting a fucking 50 caliber single action revolver. That doesn't mean that's what I carry every day. So like, you can't just base it off of videos you've seen. This is brain dead. We don't.
Okay,
know.
well, I don't know. I to be honest, like I couldn't tell in the video if he was shooting 5.7 subsonic or not because like. It's cell phone audio compressed to garbage. It sucks, right? So I'm like, I don't know, maybe. But either way, and again, it's a pistol, right? We've seen cops shoot somebody like 14 times and not get a kill.
At point blank range.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like people still argue about caliber this, caliber that. It doesn't really. It's like effective hits on target is like a bunch of shots in good areas. That's really the only thing that ends the fight is a bunch of shots in good areas. Anyways, thank you, Modern Frontier Project. But yeah, I'm just not sure. I haven't heard that part of
it. Fuck you, Modern Frontier Project.
Look at that guy. Dang it. Anyways, so that's that, guys. I know that everybody has a lot of thoughts on the shooting and all of this other fun stuff. Maybe we'll read your guys' supers regarding this before we move on, so it's not so out of the way. All right, let's see. Saved my missing every shot, distraction at best. Well, again, we aren't sure that he missed every shot. We do know that the shooter engaged him, also missed every shot. We know that for sure, missed every shot while engaging the shooter. So he did definitely take fire, return fire, and drive the guy away. So it was still effective, if not perfectly effective. Paulie B says In-N-Out fries aren't overrated; they're just bad. Well, I think that's true. Yeah, I wouldn't say anything good about their fries. Okay. Jail Gonis for 2 says 380 Chads are superior to sub 5'7" dorks. Okay, what do you? I think 5'7" is cringe. All right, I think it's a little performative. Okay, I think it's a little dramatic. You know, the FN 5'7", spoiler alert, was never a good handgun. It's never been a good handgun. You know, it might be the only one that ever has gotten only 5'7" handgun ever. I think that has a military contract with the U.S. However, doesn't necessarily mean that it's a great handgun. I mean, come on, like the P320 has the biggest contract of all time. Okay, just military contracts don't make it good. All right, 5.7 isn't a great caliber, and the FN 5.7 is also not a great gun. I said it. All right.
Yeah, I would argue that I'd rather have 380 like defensive ammo than subsonic 5.7, but I'd probably rather have supersonic 5.7 than 380.
Well,
Maybe.
I like the the problem is handguns, right? So like I'd rather have 20 rounds in an FN 5.7 than 10 rounds in a 380, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather have that. Now, am I crazy, but aren't 5.7 subs worse than 22 long rifle?
I think so. I could
right?
be
Am I
wrong.
crazy? But at that point, why not? Well, I guess obviously it's more reliable. It's probably more accurate because it's a center fire cartridge. But I'm like, 22 long rifle do the same thing out of a 4-inch barrel, 5-inch barrel. That's crazy. Autis him for 2 says dry fire get better. Only you can prevent wildfires. Very true. Effective training would have helped a lot here. McLeod for 5 says not a dream at all. Who wants to be dragged by a DA in Colorado? Dude's going to be getting himself very familiar with the local judge. I don't think so at all. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't think he actually shot anyone. He might have shot the shooter, but I don't think he shot anyone. So I don't think he's going to have any trouble at all. And also because the police and the press are all praising him. He is getting nothing but accolades. So he is now the official good guy in the situation, not just by, in reality, but also by the media at large, by the police, by all this sort of stuff. So in the narrative, he is the good guy. No judge, no DA is going to be looking to go after him because that's going to hurt them. Everybody, that meme, it's going to be everyone disliked that. Okay, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, if he were in a terrible blue state and maybe he shot the shooter or maybe somebody else, like maybe now we're in a worried situation. But I don't think he'll be too bad. Because this happened in Idaho, right? I'm not crazy.
Yeah, it was Idaho.
Yeah, Idaho. So now if you live in Colorado, like when I was in Washington State, if I shot a black dude mugging me in Seattle, yeah, no, my life is ruined. Okay, it just is, no matter how good of a shoot it was. Like we had that store owner kill a black guy in Seattle, some Asian dude, and he got sent to prison for that. And it was like obvious justified shoot ever. And Seattle DAs don't care.
That's the thing though, that I don't think people really think about is that when you do this, when you intervene, when you defend yourself or defend others that you love, you are essentially, you're sacrificing your own life. Mm-hmm. You might get lucky and just everything's fine. You might get killed or you might end up spending life in prison. Either way, you are giving up your life, your freedom for other people to live. So it's not about yourself in that situation. If you make that decision, it's not about yourself. It's about other people.
Yeah. John New Island for 5 says God sent the silliest 2A guy to resolve this shooting, and now normies are seeing FS 2000s and center axis relock as top tier. That's the bad thing, right? So they're gonna be like, oh, this guy's a hero, therefore I'm gonna copy his FS 2000 build, which I should probably try and find it because it is actually horrifying.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, there's lots of bad takeaways here. Helix, member for 9 months. Thank you. We just had our little membership baby together. Wish he had his FS 2000 on him. Sam Fisher maxing. That would have been hilarious. That would have been even more wild. Although again, pistol guys, like if he had a rifle, he probably would have been way more effective, right? And that's because pistols are difficult for people to shoot. So get out there and train with the thing you actually carry. Lightsport for 2 says probably weighs less than most of chat 2. That's almost a guarantee. All right. Tactical Twink. All right. Tap Rack Stovepipe for 2 says, hello, Purple People Eaters. Weekly reminder, SIG sucks. Thank you, Tap Rack Stovepipe. Many such cases. Scene Runners just talking about these accounts again. Who is Havoc 2-1? No idea. Absolutely despise these asinine AstroTurf no name faggot Tactical gun accounts on X, not pro docs, but ... Well, all right, Sea Runner. Tell us how you really feel. Modern Frontier Project, again, talking about how he missed every shot at 25 yards with subsonic 5.7. Those two things have not been confirmed. It is possible, but have not been confirmed. Modern Frontier Project follows up, says, Jake, just because my feet are on stream all the time doesn't mean I have feet. Head. It's
that
funny.
Is an absolute straw man, false equivalency. You're a retard.
Non sequitur. Yeah. Hit him with the fallacies.
Non sequitur, ad hominem.
Appeal to feet fallacy.
Absurdum. It's all of them, bro. Yeah, it's the foot fallacy.
Reductio ad absurdum. No, what's the Latin word for toes?
I don't know.
Austin Tom for 5 says, sure, 5.7 is cringe, but at least it's something. A bunch of folks seem to be advocating him just to be unarmed. Crazy. No. Nobody, at least nobody in this chat, better be saying it would have been better if he had nothing on him. That would be retarded, Austin Tom. Maybe some like blue-haired liberals might be saying, oh, well, he had a gun, but it wasn't very effective. So, I mean, he might as well have not had a gun at all. Maybe, I'm sure that some people out there are arguing that he actually created more danger because he was shooting where civilians were and he wasn't police. So he shouldn't have engaged. He should have just allowed the police to do their job. I'm sure there are some crazy people saying something like that. I don't think anyone in this chat is. I mean, like in the tiers of pistol calibers, it's like 22 is at the bottom, 17 HMR is at the bottom. It's like 380 and 5.7. It's like depending on the gun and capacity, you know, I can be swayed between those two. And then it's just 9mm above everything else. Right.
I would put 5.7 slightly above 22 Magnum only because it's probably more reliable.
Yeah, well, of course. That's why anything rimfire just gets bumped to the bottom, right? I don't trust the mags. I don't trust the whole system. I don't trust the guns that they're put in most of the time. So, yeah, no, 5.7 is definitely better than that. Thank you, Austin Tom. Let's see. Liberty lives in 1776 for 5 says 5.7 smoked a bunch of troops a few years back. It works. The pelvic girdle comes up in the armor convo, but it can't if you can't make the T-box shots. Yeah, I totally agree with armor, right? If you see somebody and they're decked out in tactical gear and you're having to engage that guy, maybe that's a thought, right? Like, what do I actually shoot at here? Maybe now that's a concern. However, again, the Excalibur has killed things, therefore good. I disregard that. Like last week, we looked at where a guy with a 22 revolver took out a grizzly bear. If I use that and says, no, 22 long rifles, all you need, 22 long rifle literally killed a grizzly bear, a 500-pound grizzly bear. Therefore, it's the greatest thing ever, right? That argument doesn't hold water. Retarded conscripts, children conscripts in Africa kill people with AKs with sights maxed out to 2,000 yards. It's like, just because they happen to have some sort of effect doesn't mean that that's ideal or good in any way, right? So, like, again, it's like the pistol caliber discussion. It's fun for nerds, but at the end of the day, it's like just whatever you're carrying, just be good with it, right? That's like the really boring truth of the matter is like, can you just be good with what you carry? Can you just be able to hit targets rapidly at 25 yards? Like that's kind of the standard that we're seeing. Thank you, Liberty lives in 1776. Central Stance Defense for 5 says self-defense versus public defense. I'm getting my family out. Well, he was with his girlfriend, no kids, because that does change things, right? If I'm with my wife and 3 kids, and am I going to like draw fire towards myself and towards my family? You know, it's a different conversation, right? 100% different conversation.
He might not like his girlfriend very much.
It's true. But I mean, listen, okay, if I'm playing the movie back in my head, what could be more epic than her screaming my name as I run into danger, okay? All right? Write that down in a book somewhere. Thank you, Central Sands Defense. Appreciate that. Crimpen and Easy Pretend says, criticizing a man who did something that most of us will never be called to do because he didn't do it perfectly is gross. No optic and actively taking fire. Police say he did save lives and buy time. I don't think it's gross because at the same time, like you could have that critique against anyone, like a cop, you know, responding to a situation and doing so poorly. It's like, well, hey, he was risking his life. You can't criticize him. It's like, no, you still can. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. If you decide to step up and be the guy and put yourself in danger and put everyone else around you in danger as well, like you are still responsible for your actions. It's like if you tried to help someone put siding on your house and then you just did a horrible job and then their house blew down in a windstorm. It's like, well, I tried to do the right thing. Like, yeah, you get kudos for trying for sure, but the effect at the end of the day is still like it's still critiquable. There's not even anything wrong with that, right?
Yeah, I think a little bit like there's always room for criticism, especially when there are things that like could be better.
Yeah,
but I'm not saying that like Obviously, I'm not going to tell this guy to his face, "Hey, you really could have done a better job." Like that would be silly. But when we're just discussing it here, like, yeah, we can acknowledge that there is a universe where this could have gone better. There's different circumstances.
Well, and again, we're
that could have led
talking
to it
about
being
this
better.
after the fact to 800 people live, and I'm telling the 800 people live that are watching us right now, you could do a better job because you should train. You should be effective. You, right? Watching this. This guy, like, this situation's done and over, so we can critique this all we want, but you should have a very high skill level and be able to do what you want, right?
Yeah, you got to be like, who's that one dude who single shot headshot at a shooter at a church?
Yep, 100%.
You like that guy.
With Sig 357, okay, if we want to get even more into the caliber discussion, okay?
Be like that guy, all right?
Yeah. Tap Rack Stove Pat for 10 says, recently got a Beretta 30X and 32 ACP, put a snubby 9mm can on it, and I can literally shoot 71 grain next to someone from 10 feet away, and they think it's the wind. That setup is far superior to subsonic 5.7. Dude, that is a esoteric, autistic conversation. I couldn't tell you what 32 ACP looked like. All right, dog. You said 71 grains, and I'm like, sure, bro. I mean, I know it's center fire, and it was like maybe popular in the 80s or something, but that is an oddball one. So I'm glad you like it, though. That's cool. Thank you, Tap Rack. Glow So Bright for 5 says, we need the next armed citizen armed with crazier stuff like a Deagle, Smith & Wesson 500, or sawn-off shotgun to stop the next active shooter. Yeah, I don't know. If I was going to create no, you know what it should be actually, dude? It's a guy with a 20-inch AR-15, vertical foregrip, bipod, FRT, and LPVO. Right?
It's pretty based.
Every single person. And make it belt-fed, too.
Yeah.
Duh. Thank you, Glow So Bright. Let me make sure there's nothing over here on Ko-Fi. Says, going to pick up a double stack Thesis 5-inch with an EPS for a good price, which I'll carry for a little bit because I'm tired of the Glock carry every day, says Genosian for 3 on Ko-Fi. That is a downgrade, okay? Carrying a TIS 2011 over a Glock, that's wild. Good luck with that, though. One of the things that we talk about here is that maybe the thing that you carry should also work. So maybe you should vet that thing before you decide to just up and carry it.
Yeah, your carry gun being boring is not a very good reason to get a new one.
Yeah, you actually kind of want that. Yeah, my gun goes off every time. This is so lame.
It's just it just works, and I can hit everything with it. It's just so boring. I just don't even like shooting it.
Tulip over on Ko-Fi says, sure, criticizing someone else is easy, but it's also fun too. Good point. I didn't think about that. Good point. Never a good handgun. Bushmaster for 2 says, never a good handgun, ? Tell that to the Fort Hood shooter. Yeah, I get that the gun was used effectively, but again, the same argument could be used with any gun of any random caliber that happened to work the one time, right? That's why I don't like using that as an argument. Nutting inside of an Uma plushie on Ko-Fi says, speaking of Jews, we had 2 Jewish rabbi volunteers de-escalate a black inmate who were going to use force on. I guess I can't say they never helped me. Well, I'm glad to hear that, nutting inside of an Uma plushie, that 2 Jews helped you fight off a black man or, de-escalate a black man. That is a wild sentence, by the way. All right. Stackcraft Stove 5 again for 5 says, was just saying sub 5.7 is a horrible carry choice. My CCW Ruger Max 9, because if it's got to sit in an evidence locker, I won't care, and it's dumb reliable. All right, that's I don't know anything about the Ruger Max 9. I mean, I know it's again an inexpensive handgun that doesn't really, not horribly offensive. I think a Ruger RXM or something similar would get the job done, or just a generic Glock. I know it sucks that at the end of the day, every question comes down to a generic Glock. That really is the answer for everyone and everything at almost all times. God's fattest LARPer on Ko-Fi, thank you for that, says, I carry a Raven P25. So yeah, I'm pretty badass. I don't even know what a Raven P25 is. So
it's the worst. It is literally the worst handgun ever.
The
no.
22 was worse than the 25.
Is it just unreliable? Is that the whole meme?
Yeah.
I think Hawkeye has one, if that gives you an idea.
Okay. Well, yeah, that looks awful. I like how the grip is obviously canted at an angle. You can tell that it's just canted forward. Looks like garbage. Thank you for that. I'll take your word for it though. I'm not gonna try one out to figure out if it is actually the worst. But speaking of the worst, guys, all right, PewView, am I right? Literally, no, I'm just kidding. But PewView and Fat Electrician put out a video the other day talking about how they now own a gun company. Let me pull this up real fast. And it's Mustang Armament. Have you guys ever heard of Mustang Armament?
No.
No, why not, guys? It's really cool and good. We bought a gun company one day ago by PewView. You guys have never heard of Mustang Armament?
Isn't Fat Electrician the guy who doesn't have sights on his ARs and doesn't sight them in? He admitted this.
He said like what was it? Was it a Q86, the boombox? He said that was his home defense gun and it was suppressed with no sights. It's like, all right.
So
all
base,
right, buddy.
bro.
Thanks. Thank you for that. Very, very useful. Anyways, so these two guys decided to buy a gun company. And yeah, I know it's a little pixelated on the range, okay? This is for YouTube purposes. I apologize. Do not worry, gentlemen. We will be looking deep and hard at their offerings to discern every little nook, cranny, and crevasse that they have to offer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So worry not. Suffer the pixels, the pixelation, and enjoy the pixels later, okay?
Hey, John, one quick question.
Go for it.
Were you saving the earlier super chats for later?
Well,
Completely?
are people upset?
Some people were just asking. I wanted to reassure
well, because
them
I
that
wanted
they
to get to
will
the
be
ones
seen.
that I wanted to get to the ones that were about the shooting, you know, because we didn't actually really have our super chat break, even though it kind of took like 20 minutes. It was to talk about the shooting and people's thoughts on the shooting for people that paid for it.
You'll get your chats answered, guys. Don't worry.
Well, of course, yes. No, I have everything saved still. I'm not getting rid of anything. My apologies, okay? Anyways, PewView, Fat Electrician, who is not very fat anymore. He is definitely Ozempic electrician. Or like TRT electrician right now. He's looking pretty good, okay? No homo, but I'm saying he's looking a lot better, all right?
We bought a gun company. So let me explain. So a few months back, I was watching Honest Outlaw, and he had this.
Now, listen, all right? Not that I have anything personally against Honest Outlaw, but there's something about setups like this here, factory setups like this, by the way, that make me internally cringe and just default to say like, oh yeah, you just have no idea what you're doing and you think it looks cool because somebody like Honest Outlaw or Name Your Slopperator showed off this setup and was like, no, this is actually really good and comfortable. This is actually ideal. This is actually, you may not like it, okay, but this is what peak AR performance looks like right here, ladies and gentlemen.
This thing right here on his channel. He called it the best AR-15 he has ever shot.
Today we might have the best AR I've ever had. This is the Mustang Armament Chesty.
And I'm fairly close with Chris. So I took
Chesty. And yes, the PewView Fat Electrician collaboration rifles from the company that they quote unquote bought are called the Chesties, the chesticles.
Do you know why it's called that, John?
I have no idea. Why is it called that?
Probably named after Chesty Puller, very famous Marine.
Okay, all right.
Marines.
I thought it was going to be an
Uma
Musume reference because it's like Mustangs and horses and stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways, I called him and I said, is that really the best AR you have ever shot? And he said, without a doubt in my mind. So immediately I hung up the phone and one of these things, the Mustang Chesty. And about at that same time, the Fat Electrician had also seen that video and ordered this same rifle. So all of a sudden we were all in agreement that this is one of the best rifles we have ever shot. And then,
but I'd like that. You know what? I think this is, we're going to go back to the whole nominalism debate. I don't think that they have any idea what they're talking about. The words have no meanings, okay? Like, when they say best, they mean something completely different than what you or I say. Especially considering that, obviously, keep in mind that they're about to show these products very hard.
Yeah, I mean...
Go ahead.
They probably are being honest. That probably is their favorite rifle that they've ever shot. Whatever that means.
But I don't even know if I'd go that far because it's like you've shot a lot of rifles, you've shot from a lot of different companies. But when you say best, like what does that mean to you? right? Because if I picked up a PSA and said that this was the best rifle I ever shot, how could I possibly quantify that, right? Especially, you know, that I've shot a lot of better rifles. It's like, how can you possibly defend that statement?
The best rifle is the one that makes you the most money.
Okay, yes, but if that's what they mean by best, okay, see, we're using the same words, but they have completely different meanings in this context.
That's business, man. That's how business works.
All right.
Suddenly, we are all in agreement that this is one of the best rifles we have ever shot. And then I happened to meet the owner, Brian. Super good dude. I love what he's doing, and I like the mission of his company. There's no shit for you to do, and I love that business model. It comes just like this. Sighted, tuned, torqued, ready to rock. All you gotta do is take it out to the range and feed it some ammunition. Now, of course, a rifle completely set up just like this isn't very cheap. Nick, why is that?
All right, I'm just gonna come right up.
All right, so this is a Pat Electrician. I don't know anything about this guy. I know he does like history vids, and he's on the Slop podcast with the other guys. I know Brandon Herrera's on it, and Eli and Donut Operator. Right? And now keep in mind that this gentleman's taste in firearms might be suspect, to say the least.
Set up just like this isn't very cheap. Nick, why is that?
All right, I'm just going to come right out of the gate and say the thing that nobody wants to hear right now. These guns are expensive. Me and Pewview would both love to tell you guys we're going to come up with the best budget AR-15 on the market, but if we're going to be realistic and honest, nobody's really outdoing PSA, and the only people that can...
All right, you know, I'm trying. See, that's what I'm trying to gauge here. If he's like, no, PSA is the best budget rifle you can buy. See, then it's like, oh, your best means very different things to me, right? This word that you keep using over and over again, that you keep repeating, is pretty meaningless, right? Pause. Okay.
claim to compete with them are other gun companies that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars and fucking liars. And again, me and Nick are both in agreement on this. We're not going to ask any of you guys to buy an inferior product just to support us. But where we can compete are with these. Why are they so expensive? Because they're worth it. This is what you get when you order a gun from Mustang Armament. Not you get a blank gun and then you have to put all the parts that you want on it. No, this is how my gun came from Mustang Armament.
So the whole selling point here is that it comes equipped with garbage. I mean, okay, we'll get into the actual options later on, but these are premium tier pricing. I mean, we're talking like Sons of Liberty Gunworks Mark I pricing with way worse parts, like dramatically worse parts for the same amount of money. Or in some cases, if you want a fully built out one, we're talking nearly $5,000 in some cases for these rifles. These are essentially like turnkey options. Somebody in the comment section of their original video, which we can take a look at, said like, oh, hey, great. The gaming PC market has arrived to YouTubers. Because if you don't know, there's a lot of big YouTubers who have their own gaming PC pre-built company, right? Where you just order a gaming PC from them pre-built and you don't have to select any of the parts. It just shows up. And then usually there's a pretty huge premium on top of it for the fact that it's pre-built, turnkey, just turn it on and it's ready to go. Congratulations, we have that scam. I say scam, it's obviously not a scam. You're paying for the convenience of not having to do anything and not being very intelligent or not having to look in any of your parts. You're just trusting these guys to put together good builds for you and then ship them, right? You don't care if you pay $500 more. You don't care if you pay $1,000 more. You just want something that works and you don't have to think about.
As you see it right now, I picked it up from my FFL. It was sighted in and the gas system was tuned to the suppressor already. I took it directly to the range and didn't have to do anything. And this is what sets Mustang Armament apart is we're actually a finished product. When you buy other high-end AR-15s, you're getting an AR-15 with a bunch of mil-spec parts that you probably don't want and are going to end up replacing. And half...
Spoiler alert, a lot of the parts that you ship on your rifles, people also don't want and should replace or should not be using in the first place.
The time it's missing parts. Most of these guns don't even come with sights, which is fucking crazy. It's like selling a sports car with a Fisher Price steering wheel and no windows. Okay, if I'm going to spend thousands,
no, it's not. It is not the same thing as buying a sports car without windows or without wheels and tires on it, right? Because optics dictate capability. All right. spoiler alert, what you can do with your rifle is more dictated by the optic setup usually than by like the rifle itself. Like, what's the difference between an 11.5 and a 12.5 rifle? Well, what optic do you have on it? What can you actually do with it? Okay, I think that stuff is actually more important than people think. So buying pre-sighted in optics, a couple of different optics, not even great optic selections, definitely not great pricing on the optics. You're paying a huge premium for all of this stuff. This is for, I'm guessing, again, it comes down to dentists. I think dentists are ruining the gun industry. They have too much money, all right, but not enough extra brain power to like try and figure out what goes where on what. So they just want to hand someone a large sum of money and get a rifle that works, right? That does the thing. It'll look cool in quotation marks because it's got the cool paint and the foregrip and the light and laser that they have no idea how to use. It's got the riser with the EOTech magnifier, or even worse, like some really terrible optic combinations here. Okay.
You're
like,
really calling out Doc Ogtis.
No, every time I love making fun of dentists because we have dentists that watch the show. So every time it's like, what did I do? Just dentist, bro. It's fine. And also, the dentist, you can't get upset at me about being a dentist when you run a open gun. All right, you run like a $5,000 open gun. You're like, what do you mean dentists drop a lot of money on silly products? What do you mean? What do you mean, John? What do you mean dentists buy weird things, John? Here's my $7,000 Infinity open gun. What are you talking about, John? It's like, all right, buddy.
Of dollars on a product, I want to have a finished product, not a project that I then need to immediately turn around and invest even more money into to get what I want. Because by the time that you go and buy optics, a new trigger, a buffer system, a muzzle device that you're actually going to use, and then all the...
Dude, I love that all of these guys are doing the same thing that I have to do, which is like censor stupid words and price tags and nonsense. So they're doing the whole thing that I have to do usually. But because they're doing it, I don't have to edit it into the video. They're censoring themselves now. Okay, this is perfect. Thank you for doing that for YouTube.
The additional accessories that you want, it's going to end up costing you another $2,000+. And then if you want it to look cool, you still got to find somebody to go.
Oh, I forgot to censor one bit. Unbelievable. Dang it. Okay, fine.
Or is placing 5 different orders. That's if you're lucky enough to find everything in stock and it's not back ordered, which isn't going to happen, let's be honest. And then once all that's...
See, they try and make it seem like this seems like what are those old advertisements called? You know, like late night. Sorry, say again.
Infomercial.
Yeah, it's like, listen, buying optics is so hard. You know, it's like you got to go to like a website and you got to like click the add to cart, and it's all in black and white. And the guy's like trying to click with his mouse. He's like, I can't get it done. I can't get it done.
It's the Tupperware avalanche falling out of your top cabinet.
And it's just like, it's like you got to add it to cart. You got to type in your shipping address. Like, who has time for this stuff? Just do all of that on my website instead.
So,
all right,
like, that's the funny part too, because this, like most gun guys, the enjoyable part is picking everything out individually, assembling it yourself. Gun guys like that. So this is like a rifle for non-gun guys who have too much money and are retarded.
Dentists.
Basically. Dentists. Yeah,
Dentists.
Right. Sorry, Doc. Sorry, Doc.
Dentist. Fine.
Stuff does finally show up, you get to do all the work yourself and put it together. We will deliver a finished product where the work is done for you by professional armorers. And it's probably going to be cheaper. At worst, it's going to be the same price, but at least you're going to know exactly what it's going to cost up front. So while I can't guarantee...
Yeah, I don't want my Lego pre-built. It's like, here's the thing though. If you're the type of guy who does not have the time to zero your rifle, you do not have time to shoot your rifle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to break it to you, bro. And also, spoiler alert, not all ammo zeros the same. So unless you're buying identical lots to the guys these guys are putting through it, right? And that just happens to be in stock forever. Your zero might be really close, but it's not going to be perfect, you know? Although, again, I think this is for people with a lot of money who don't care about shooting, who don't care about being better, who don't care about, like, what the gun is going to be used for or anything like that. That's all like weird metaphysical nonsense. They just have it as like an ornament, you know? It's like having the high school trophy on the fireplace, right? Or whatever it happens to be, right? It's just a thing that happens. It's a thing I have, okay? It doesn't mean anything.
Unironically, it'd be cheaper for you to buy all the parts and have a gunsmith assemble them for you.
That's actually funny, right? That's actually funny.
What it's going to cost up front. So while I can't guarantee that we're going to save you money, I can guarantee that we're going to save.
What's funny there is I can't guarantee that you are going to save any money, but I can guarantee that we are going to make a bunch of money. That is actually the only thing that he can guarantee is that his, I love that pixelated screenshot, but they are going to make a lot of money.
We're going to save you money. I can guarantee that we're going to save you time, and that is the same thing.
All right, listen, guys, before we get into this, I want to be completely upfront with you. I am not going to sit here and pretend that I'm the guy to take AR-15 building advice from.
Well, at least you're honest. I mean, thanks. See, here's the thing, guys. They use this clickbait. We bought a gun company. We bought a gun company. I don't think that's true. I think Mustang Armament, who's in Iowa with all these guys, and they're all friends with each other, was like, listen, the three of us together, four of us, if you count the company, could make a lot of money and sell a lot of rifles if we all just work together. And these guys, being businessmen, are like, listen, you have to give each of us 20% of your company. And, we'll buy in, basically, and we'll shill the heck out of all this stuff, and we'll all make great money, okay? Because I guarantee you they're clearing some money. They're clearing some coin for each one of these things to sell. And between the three of them, I mean, what do they have? 6 million subs? Sounds like a lot, I know. But 6-7 million subs? So, I mean, yeah, they can make a lot of money off of this. And it's a wise business move, okay? I'm not critiquing their business acumen here. Critiquing the product.
I'm not. If you want to know if a pistol is really good or really bad, I'm your guy. But when it comes to AR-15 stuff, I'm a casual at best. But what I will tell you is that I own about 20 of these rifles. Unless you're the ATF, I have 0.
Funny ATF joke.
Nonetheless, I have shot a ton of these, and I know what's good and I know what's bad on a flat range. I know what I enjoy punching holes in cardboard and shooting steel with. So that is the perspective I am coming at this with. Now, I know there's going to be a ton of questions, so let's just get right into it. Why did we buy a gun company? Honestly, it's not that complicated. I love guns and I love the people behind Mustang. And honestly, I wanted to be a part of something that's a little bit bigger than YouTube and my channels. I wanted to help create products instead of just being stuck reviewing everybody else's stuff for the rest of my life.
So, again, that sounds noble in a way. It's like, yeah, you want to be on the creation side of things. Although, he's not creating anything. He's not doing anything. He's simply having equity in a company that's already doing the thing, and he is just now profiting off of it and shilling it, which, again, as a business move, perfectly valid. It's fine. It's not immoral or anything to make money off of a company. Of course not. But when you frame it like, oh, I wanted to really get into the market and create things, so I bought equity in a company that's doing the exact same thing, and I'm not changing anything. I'm just promoting it now. It's like you're still essentially in marketing, but now it's got fancy terms on it. That's it.
Brings me to my next question that I'm sure you guys are going to have. What's this mean for POV? Honestly, not much. I'm still going to be reviewing guns from every other manufacturer. If it's good, I'm going to say it's good. If it's bad, I'm going to say it's bad. Nothing is going to change. The only difference is that when it comes to Mustang, I wanted to be upfront with you guys so you know exactly my stance when it comes to this company. Now, does that mean Mustang gets a free pass? Absolutely not. If something is not right, we're going to fix it. In a weird way, this kind of gives me more incentive to be more critical over these guns because my name is attached to them. And now I have the ability to improve the platforms instead of just complaining about it and hoping for the best. Now let's talk about the rifle themselves. If you guys have been watching this channel for a while, you know that I require 3 little upgrades when it comes to an AR-15 platform to make them shootable to my standards. I don't care if it's a PSA or a Daniel Defense. I want a Geisley SD3G, a JP Enterprise silent capture buffer, and a decent muzzle device or a suppressor. Those 3 things added to any AR-15 makes them very shootable, and I enjoy taking them to the range. After that, it's all the little things like the 45-degree safety selector, the grip preferences, like True North Concepts on everything always, the adjustable gas systems, the lights, the lasers, the cans, the optics, the risers, the ambi controls, the charge.
The slop. Okay, guys, the slop. All right. Now, listen, people like Geisley triggers, that's fine. People like the JP silent capture buffered systems, that's fine and whatnot. But when you're like hawking like the garbage grips from 109 Concepts or whatever else it might be, your Difrico or risers, my gosh, to people who don't know any better, like at some point, I feel like there is almost a little bit of moral culpability here when you're just shoveling the slop down the slop tube. You know, it's like, all right, thanks again for doing this. I really appreciate your creativity here and your creation aspect of all this.
Handle, everything adds up to be an extremely good rifle. That is the stuff.
See, he talked about nothing about the rifle though. Like, can we talk about like what the rifle is actually, which he does get into later on, but no. You put a bunch of other things on top of the rifle and called it a good rifle, but those things are not, in fact, the rifle.
That I appreciate. Now, if you are the guy that wants to go out and buy a basic rifle and then upgrade it over time.
For a stripped rifle, it is $3K. For a complete rifle, it is nearly $5K.
This probably isn't for you. Honestly, I'm a little bit of both. I enjoy taking very cheap, shitty platforms and seeing if I can make them better over time by just upgrading them. So I completely understand if that's your preference. This is for the person that wants to go straight to their FFL, grab their rifle, and go right to the range. There's no guesswork. There's no chasing parts.
So again, it's like there's problems with almost all of this. Okay, but obviously the riser slop with a is that the absolute EOTech? That's funny. They didn't even have the E on there. And then you have lights and lasers and whatnot. But lights and lasers are very specific to people, right? No one is just randomly buying lights and lasers, you know, that don't go with like their specific IR devices that they're using or whatnot, right? Like, if somebody does not have nods, which are their own whole thing, like nods is another nightmare of spec sheets and other things that you have to get into where people get taken advantage of by flashy marketing in the night vision world as well. But if you don't know what you're talking about or what you're looking at here, these laser boxes are worthless, absolutely worthless. If you don't own nods, this is a paperweight good, sir, right? And even if you do own nods, you don't know how to use this thing. Guess what? It's also a paperweight.
Wondering if these two parts are going to clash and work together or not. You know that a guy that spent 27 years in the Marine Corps built your rifle to his very...
Also, just being in the military is not... I mean, other than like... Dude, I don't even know. Does it get you anything? No, I don't think it gets you anything. No, I don't think military experience gets you anything in the civilian gun sphere. Like if you said, oh, I was a Marine, I know how to shoot, I'd be like, oh, like maybe, probably not though. Well, I know how to build guns. It's like, maybe know how to maintain guns. You know, I mean, depending on who you are, that might buy you something, like a little bit. But I'd really, you know, I want to know what you're doing now. Not, oh, I did something in the military for like 5 years. You know, it's like,
yeah. I mean, with Fat Electrician, I'm pretty sure he was like a medic.
And like, okay, that's like.
I mean,
good, but I don't know what that has to do with this.
Yeah, what does that have to do with this? And then what did he do after he got out of the military? He makes history videos on YouTube and is on a podcast. So like, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how that transfers.
Yeah, you get good discounts. That's true. It's true.
High standards, and it's getting shipped straight to you, sighted in, tuned, ready to go. Now, could you build something very similar and save some money? Maybe. And if that's something you enjoy doing, I would absolutely encourage you to keep doing that. My goal is not to convince any of you guys that you need to buy this rifle and to stop building your own. This is just specifically for the people that just don't have the time or just want to simplify the process of just going to...
It's got to be dentist buds. Nobody's buying a pre-built 5K AR because it's sighted in and they don't have time to sight it in. Spoiler alert, if you don't have time to sight it in, you're not shooting it all ever, right? It's like they're selling expensive paperweights that look nice, even though to me they're cringe, right? When I see like ugly, hideous Cerakotes and risers and terrible optics and lasers on rifles, I'm like, that looks hideous to me. But if you don't know what you're looking at, you're like, oh, that's like the cool guy thing because cool guys have those, right? That's cool because I saw the cool guy have that.
pick it up, and it's ready to go. That's all. At the end of the day, I just wanted to be completely transparent with you guys. That is the main reason for this video. I'm not turning PewView into one big Mustang commercial. You guys will see this rifle every now and again, and when you do, just keep in mind that I am part owner of the company. If you
Again, part owner. The original owner is still there. The original team behind it is still there. PewView and Fat Electrician are just there as the face now. They got equity in the company, which is again a good business move for sure. But no, it's still the exact same company. Guarantee you. It's still the same leadership team. 100%.
you guys ever happen to see me pulling punches, feel free to go ahead and call me out in the comment section. But that's not what I do. I try to stay as completely non-biased as I possibly can when it comes to doing videos for you guys, because your trust means everything to me. And again, that is why I wanted to make this video and let you guys know that the Fat Electrician and I are part owners of this company. And I really...
Dude, I am not spending $4K on a rifle that does nothing
John,
that I want it to do.
I'm going to be real, John. You got to
Not
put your money where your mouth is. You got to try one of these out.
Okay, well, we'll take a look at their builds in just a second, and I'll let the chat decide if it's worth the price tag, okay?
What if it is the best rifle you've ever shot in your life?
The best?
Yeah. You'll have to make an apology video.
Oh, sorry. If you said if this is the best rifle I've ever shot.
Yeah, what if it is?
Oh, dude, that'd be crazy, dude. It's like, no, we put an adjustable gas block in it, and it shoots really nice. It's like, yep, it's an AR-15 with an adjustable gas block. Yep, that's what they do. Yep, it's like somebody showing me a Glock clone and being like, look how reliable it is, and I'd be like, yep, it's a Glock. It does that. Yeah. All right.
Building this with Brian and with Nick, because I think it's going to be really fun. I think he makes a really cool product, and the guy's got a huge heart and really wants to help people out. I think that is cool. That is all I had to say.
The last little part in there where he's like, oh, the owner has a big heart and he really wants to help people out. And I'm like, maybe, but also like the cynical side is like, well, it is just a business though, and that's fine. But why do we have to pretend that every business owner is some like, I don't know, heroic fighter that's just doing it for you, the people? It's like, no, he's making money off of selling rifles, and that's fine. But it's not some sort of altruistic charity case here, you know, especially at the prices that we're getting at. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Stripped. This is their cheapo. This is basically garbage, okay? This is awful. I mean, like, listen, Mustang should be ashamed for having this as their cheap option. Would either of you fine gentlemen like to guess the price tag on one of these fine works of art?
2,200.
3,300.
Well, Jake, you were closer. This one is 2,900. Now, let's check a little bit, okay? Because the parts selection here, does anything stand out to you, gentlemen?
The receivers.
Yeah,
Okay, the receivers are hideous. Yes,
ugly ass
agreed.
milled receiver, and like
look up
weathered.
What is sitting?
Device.
What is sitting on up front? That is a YHM muzzle device. That is the bad YHM muzzle device. That is a retarded muzzle device for whores. Whores, when they buy a YHM, get rid of those muzzle devices immediately because they suck. That does not belong on a $3,000 rifle, especially built by people who know what they're doing. Why are we putting the worst mounting system possible, imaginable, on your $3,000 rifle? This tells me that you either have a bunch of these laying around as old stock and you can't get rid of them because they suck, or you're too stupid to put on a modern muzzle device that can actually do a better job, is lighter, simpler, and more effective. Because again, you don't know what you're doing. I have no idea why that's on there.
Maybe
Unbelievableness.
Maybe YHM gives them a veterans discount.
Oh, good point. Good point. Anyways, so sorry. No. I lied. Guys, I lied. I can't believe I did that to you. I said 29, 33. It was 3,300. $3,300. Now, this is part of the Chesty series in honor, as you said, of Lieutenant General Louis Chesty Puller. Battle-worn FDE, hideous. 11.5-inch billet handguards. Now, I will say that the uppers, lowers, and handguards are 70-75 billet, right? So they're just huge blocks of aluminum, which is very expensive. Very, very expensive to do. Is it better? No, but it is very expensive. So it's like, I get that you made it look nice in quotations, but it's very expensive and with almost no benefit. PWS Plan B muzzle device. Well, that's not what you show on the actual pictures. So maybe that's just bad on you for not updating the pictures. Because again, that is terrible. That is a awful muzzle device. No one should be using any of the YHM muzzle devices unless it's the, what did they call their new one? The SRX or whatever it is. Yeah, but again, $3,300 for this. It has a nice trigger. It has a, extended takedown, which is like, okay, that's fine. It's got a SD charging handle, I want to say. It's got the JP Enterprises recoil system. Fine, no problems there. When you actually try to get to specifics, it's like we have a DLC enhanced, hyperactor tested MPI bolt carrier group. No other specs. We have no idea what brand, no idea what sort of quality is. It just happens to be a DLC bolt that's HPT and MPI tested. So I guess that's something. Next level armament gas busting charging handle. So not even the, some of the nicer, more expensive ones out there. It is a cold hammer forged duty precision taper barrel featuring spiral fluting and a mid-length gas system. Now, again, it really is kind of just about looks. And the spiral fluting on there, I'm not saying it's Bear Creek Arsenal, okay? I'm just saying it looks kind of like Bear Creek Arsenal fluting on there. It's very minimal. It doesn't add anything. We're kind of done with fluting, right? I don't know of any modern quality manufacturer that does fluting on like a quote-unquote duty rifle anymore, other than maybe LWRC, but that's because they have to get around weird restrictions in their state. So, yeah,
What is that little like thumb rest looking? Is that a thumb rest?
That looks like a cutie point, but
Why does it stick out an inch?
Thumb rest. No, you might be right. Maybe that is a cutie point thumb rest, so you can like lean your thumb up against it, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Cerakote probably adds like $600 because they're raping you for it. Fluted barrel with no benefit whatsoever, and everything is billet, which again doesn't benefit you at all, other than maybe a little bit of a flared magwell. And again, it is just about the looks, right? This is going to fool you into looking nice, right? If you don't know what you're looking at, this looks like, oh, this is a cool color. It looks like my COD camos. And I'm a dentist. I have a lot of money. I don't know what I'm looking at. This looks great. How much money? Perfect. I'll take 2. Here is another example of essentially the same thing. So we have an EOTech magnifier, EXPS up front on this horrifying riser, which puts it up probably to a 2.3, 2.4 inch. Not height over bore, of course, just above.
Long Neckosaurus.
Yeah. And then we have a really, really cheap light for some reason. I don't know why they do this. It's like everything is hyper insanely expensive, but then we're going with a stream light on the end of it. Like, why did we do that again? Oh, you're right. Oh, I didn't even catch that. That is a 2 series EOTech because it doesn't have the night vision button.
Streamlights aren't bad. I just would expect something nicer, more expensive.
It's the price tag, though. That's the problem.
You would expect
it's in
something
contrast
more expensive.
of the price tag. Now, this is a complete one. Okay, guys. So we're not in the poor territory of the $3,300, right? I mean, come on, like nobody wants that. Get that poor crap out of here. Am I right? Guess the price tag here.
5.
It's 4.6. But I mean, yeah, you get it, right? So we've increased the cost by about what, $1,300? We've got a $99 light up front, and we've got a dealer cost maybe $900 in optics. So we charged you. I mean, really, it's only another $200 or $300 in terms of overhead cost. Now, I'm not sure if that's because this is a cheaper version, with a different Cerakote color or something like that. I don't know what grip that is, but it looks hideous. It's the Driven Arms Co grip. All right. Emissary angled foregrip. Yeah, it's a bunch of just random stuff. Now this one says that it comes again with the YHM QD suppressor ready muzzle device. Why on a $5,000 rifle are we using these garbage muzzle devices for the worst, cheapest suppressors on the market? Why are they doing that? You know? Op says kind of seems like the gun equivalent of a Hummer H2 on ultra low profile tires. Yeah. I mean, it is really gaudy and ugly, right? It's ostentatious.
Hop, you should get one of these and review it. I'd love to hear your critical review of this product.
Well, but it's like you don't even need to review it. You can just look at it and be like, okay, the light is okay. The muzzle device is terrible. You have optics that are set up like for what people would think is night vision height stuff, but yet we have no night vision optic options on our EOTech, you know? And it's like everything is billet and heavy because it's all machined out of one block of aluminum essentially. And we have some I hesitate to use the word upgraded furniture, but we do have some furniture that again is flashy and ostentatious, but people will be drawn into it kind of. Now this is
Hop will review it in like 15 years after the company crashes and burns, and there's only like 5 left, and the owner's self-deleted. He'll talk about how this is the sign of the era of whatever something.
Here's another one, guys. Now, again, you are about to be accosted, and I apologize here, very much so, but gonna do it to you anyways.
Hell yeah.
We have a Sig Tango MSR 1-6 on a $3,000 base rifle, and it's so dentist coded, right? They're like, no, I want a scope. Is a Sig good? Yeah, Sig makes good stuff, right? They have like that military gun or whatnot. Yeah, I'll take that one. That one looks good. And then it's for some reason it's mounted 2 inches behind the buffer tube. So I actually don't know if the SBA 5 extends for far enough for this to be very usable, unless you're like, you know, like tilting your head like this when you shoot. You have an offset. What offset is that? Is that a Sig Romeo? Like 1 offset dot? I think that might be. Damn, that is so bad. All right, let's look at the specs. Now, the one thing, blissfully at this one, is that they have gone with a $100 barrel for you. Isn't that nice that they, for the cheap version here, which is only $3,300, they went with a $100 Roscoe K9 barrel. Isn't that nice of them? They saved you so much money by going with a Roscoe barrel for about $100, a Rise armament trigger for maybe like 150 or something like that. They have the NBS low mass carrier, which is also maybe $100, something like that. Not terrible. Again, you have a YHM QD suppressor ready muzzle device. Get rid of that. Stop it. Get some help. So, Sig Sauer 1-6, of course, the MSR, and then a 45-degree offset red dot. Which one is it? No idea. Don't you love mystery meat red dots? I know I do. Let me see if I can get a close-up of that one specific. I think that's so bad. I think it's the Romeo 1, which is like a terrible optic. It is a terrible, terrible red dot that they mounted on here.
I mean, in their defense, Sega's probably paid them all a lot of money. So
no, that's the thing. Dealer cost on those is almost nothing. Like you can probably get that full setup there for like $199 on the dealer side for the offset and for the mount scope combo. Maybe like $299 for the whole thing, but it's so inexpensive. It's so inexpensive, and it's just we have this again, this hideous billet receiver set, which I personally hate. We have a $99 trigger, $99 bolt carrier group, $99 barrel in here. It's like. And I have this barrel. I have this barrel sitting in my closet right now. It's sitting in a 12.5 build. That's probably worth like $700. And it's perfectly appropriate for that. All right. We got one more though. One more. This one here is going to be even more accosting, okay, but guys, because the price to performance here is a war crime. All right, I'm going to say it now. Fat Electrician and PewView have committed a war crime, and the war is for the hearts and souls of America, and actually more accurately for the pocketbook of dentists around the world. But this is a war crime, okay? Because this rifle here goes for, again, roughly 3,000 units of measure, and we have a Sig Romeo 5 XDR, which isn't like a terrible optic. We have a Sig Juliet 3 magnifier with a push button flip to side, which is not very good. Probably my least favorite one on the market. And then we have a UTG riser, a $15 UTG made in China riser. Now, I have these risers. I've had them for years. They work just fine. But on a $3,000 rifle that you're selling to people who don't know what they're buying, it's almost like they're mocking you. You know, there's a certain point where it's malicious. You know? There's a certain point where they're like spitting on your face and being like, "Hey, how do you like that? That's White Monster, okay? You should like it." And of course, you still have the hideous receiver sets. You got the cheap trigger, the cheap barrel, the retarded angled foregrip, and the Holosun Raid, which is like the worst product that Holosun has ever made. That actually might be true. Let's see. Again, a 12.5 Roscoe barrel for $99. Who cares? Another low mass bolt carrier group. And a Mimtac Drastic 3.5 pound trigger. What the heck is a Mimtac? Also, naming your company after like one of the worst like ways to make something, Mim, is hilarious. Calling your trigger the Mim Drastic. And yeah, they're like a $70 trigger. Okay. All right. So again, $3,000 for this is offensive to me. I would consider this a war crime. Once again, we have the terrible YHM muzzle device. Why are you doing this to me? Like, this hurts me, okay? Like, I couldn't sell something like this. My conscience could not allow me to sell something like this to someone, you know? Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger. I don't care how much money I'm making on it, okay? I can't. I'm not that evil of a human. So kudos to PewView and Fat Electrician and whoever else is putting these together. But I'm simply not evil enough to sell one of these things. But John, it's cited in already. That's true. It's true. Give 6 million more to Israel or whatever it is. But that's the thing that I hate about this is the people who are buying this don't know what they're buying. Okay. No self-respecting human is going to look at this for $3,000 and be like, yeah, no, that is a well thought out, proportioned build that checks all of the boxes that I have articulated in my, summation of needs or whatever it might be, right? Nobody's doing that. Isn't a DDM4 like 1,600? See, here's the thing, guys. You can go buy a Geisley Mod 1A and throw everything on top of it right now for $200 less, $300 less, maybe $400 less. A Geisley Mod 1A is 22. $300 on optics, 25. The riser's $15. You don't need to add anything else. A light's $100. Yeah, you could save like 300 bones by like just kitting out a Geisley Mod 1A exactly like this and have infinitely better parts all the way along. Like literally every single component is better on the actual rifle. What's the benefit? You don't have to sight it in.
It can be hard to sight optics in, John. Takes a whole range trip, and you don't have time.
I mean, what's a high sight in cost? 12 rounds, 15 rounds?
You don't have time to go to the range to sight this thing in, John. You got cavities to fill.
That's true. You're a dentist, bro. Your pressing dentist job is holding you back.
You've got people to steal money from.
Yeah. No. Don't bring value into this discussion, okay? Again, dentists don't care about value. Dentists are maybe dentists are mocking me because they care so little about their money that they spend it on stuff like this and they just don't care, right? They're flexing it on me because what they're doing is the equivalent of burning money in front of a homeless man and mocking me for it. It's like they're mocking the homeless man, the poor, me in this case, by buying stuff like this. So maybe this is actually like a dentist flex, It's like buying $1,000 Supreme shirt and being like, you know what? I know it's garbage. but I'm doing it just to piss you off and because you can't. Get mad, poor. Triggered much? Yeah. Sinasper Rifleman says, I charge customers $100 to side in guns. About half the people ordering complete rifles pay for it. That's hilarious. Again, I couldn't do that, dude. I do $100 for an entire assembly, testing, and shipping.
Well, maybe you're just retarded, John. Maybe
I might just be retarded, okay? You know?
You're leaving money on the table.
I know I am leaving. I don't make any money on Focus Shooting LLC. Are you kidding me, dude? I mean, I was like, I don't need to take advantage of people like to make money off of them. Like the YouTube makes so much money that I can be like nice, like everywhere else in my life, and I don't have to worry about making money off of people.
You can just take advantage of people for the love of the game, you know?
Yeah, but I don't love the game though. That's the thing. It's like the whole like money aspect of things is just like I get that obviously it drives people and it's a useful motivation tool, but like I don't want to be that guy. That's gay. That's awful. Well, I mean, I don't know what else to say, guys. This is an affront to all things holy, okay? I'm sure it's going to make a money, you know, PewView and Fat Electrician and the owner of it. I think they're going to do well financially. So there's no problems there. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, who do you hold accountable, okay? Do you hold these guys for putting together these wacky, silly, overpriced builds? Or do you hold the dentist accountable, okay? And listen, I don't want to piss off the dentist, okay? Because if I ever need something done, like, and they're gonna have their fingers in my mouth and instruments in my mouth, and I don't want them to be mad at me, okay? I'm just saying, all right. If there's one person I don't want to piss off, it's the dentist. Like when he gives you that pain medicine or whatever, and he knocks you out for 15 minutes, you don't know what happens in that 15 minutes. Okay?
You don't know what goes in your mouth.
Yeah, so you better be real nice, okay? I'm just saying, don't piss off the dentist. Things could go bad real fast. Yeah. That's the first thing they should do, actually, Evoke Studio, is just fire whoever made these photos. And then, listen, all that they have to do is go through and purge some of the bad part selections. Because, like, being a part selector, like, your job is to select parts that are a decent value or that perform in the way that they're supposed to, whether it's lights, lasers, optics, furniture, yada, 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 right? And then to price them accordingly and assemble them well, right? Especially if you're paying for the, you know, tuning service or the side-in service, is just to do that whole thing really well, provide good customer service. So, I mean, if they change their prices and got rid of some of the optic selections, like that would be my biggest critique. Like if they were to pay me to come in and like revamp some of the lineups, I'd be like, okay, well, first off, we're going to get rid of like all this garbage furniture stuff because you don't need it. And we're not going to be shooting like this anymore. Some of the optics and light choices are like really bad. So we're going to fix that. And the muzzle devices, all your Wyatt Gem stuff is going away, right? We're getting rid of all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's some things you could do to make these more appealing to real humans rather than just taking advantage of. And you never know, maybe PewView and Fat Electrician will actually do that. But given that Fat Electrician and, you know, his choice in firearms aren't always the best. So, you know, I'm maybe a little skeptical of that ever happening. But one can dream. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get to your guys' super chats and your guys' support, okay? Because you guys are the real heroes of the stream. Actually, we got, thank you, Red Right Hand, for that. I appreciate that. We got two things to go over first because I forgot we still have gun news. Guys, spoiler alert, Jake, we're never getting out of here tonight because we still have a 20-minute video to go over from Stoker-Matic here. And I forgot about this. So we are so deep into it. It's never going to end. Okay. The pain never ends. Because it never ends, we got to do
dudes with sculpted beards like that. Something about it is just so disturbing to me.
We'll see. Maybe he'll change your opinion halfway through this video here. Maybe you'll end up loving it. Okay. But listen, okay. I teased it in the beginning. We're going to spend exactly 30 seconds on it. Do you got a timer on you, Jake? Set a timer for 30 seconds. Okay. Start to finish. I'll tell you when to go. Maybe, okay, fine. If you're too slow, I'll do it. Whatever. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem. I don't mean to inconvenience you or anything. Okay. Timer. How do I set a timer on my phone again?
Okay, boomer.
All right. 30 seconds going. All right. Here we have the BCM 9, which is now coming. They have now teased the teaser of the BCM 9, which is a blowback 9mm PCC. As you can see, it has a Colt magazine. Now, these magazines, while drippy and straight, points for straight and being double fed, are extremely gay and unreliable, more expensive, and not ubiquitous. So I have 5 seconds left. What should I say? Absolute garbage and make it some sort of delayed mechanism. Okay, time's up. That was 30
Would it be
seconds.
better with Glock mags?
Yeah, and that's what a lot of the comments were actually saying is like, please make it Scorpion mags,
But
Glock
people hate guns
mags.
that shoot Glock mags because they're boring.
Glock mags, yeah, boring. It's like Glock mags aren't reliable. It's like, what? You mean the most proven magazine system on the planet outside of like Stanag? But outside of that, like probably the most proven magazine system on the planet? You're crazy. All right. Shoot. Do I even want to watch this? It's so boring.
Nothing escapes you.
You know. Steiner MPS Gen 2, guys. We'll watch like 15 seconds and then we'll get to your super chats because we're already 2 hours into the show. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, John, what's the deal? Yay.
Okay, good cinematography. Thank you for having like snappy editing, good cinematography. The lighting looks cool. You got good detail shots. You got some autistic B-roll in there.
When the world's top defense professionals need an optic they can stake their lives on, they turn to Steiner. And this
Do they though? Do they though? I mean, like that's cute and all, but do they really? I don't think so. I think they go to Aimpoint.
Where's
Like,
where's
I-
the mommy? Where's
let
the
me-
mommy ASMR for this ad?
That's true. If he had said that in the mommy voice, I would have let that pass. Okay, I wouldn't have even critiqued him. Okay, but saying when the top defense professionals turn to look for something for their pistol, they turn to Steiner. It's like no.
What does mommy's most cag boy use when he needs an optic?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. Do I have the voice turned on? Here it is.
I think this voice is terrible, though, right? You guys hate this one?
It's absolutely horrible.
This one's terrible. What is this one?
Yeah, that's awful.
Yo, yo, yo. What up, boys? Is this one better?
That's even worse
It's
somehow.
worse. It's like a child.
Oh, that's terrible. What about this one? Hello,
That's
hello?
even worse.
Yo,
Even
yo, yo,
worse.
let's go. Oh, damn it.
What about this one? This work for you? No. Check 1, check 2.
It's like
Comically
auto-tune.
worse. This auto tune? Oh, that's terrible. Unbelievable. I can't believe that. What? Is it funny at least?
That sounded very funny.
Yeah, the
Like, well, hey, if it's funny, I'll leave it on. Anyways, who's mommy's best CAG boy or something like that? Okay, you know what? When my good little boy needs a optic for their pistol, they turn to Steiner. That's right, glorious Steiner. That's me.
Anyways, yeah, so no, I press X to doubt on that Steiner. I'm pretty sure they go to aim. Let me check the numbers real fast. I'm pretty sure it's Aimpoint and Hollow Sun, and somewhere in DFL is Steiner for enclosed pistol optics.
This right here, this is our latest, the newest generation of MPS. The micro
PMS? Is that what he said?
Pistol Sight
No.
2.0, built for battle. Let me walk you through what makes this next-gen optic special. First thing you're going to notice is the build. This is a reinforced all-metal housing, and you can feel it
Can you guys tell that this is different than the Gen 1?
No.
the second you pick it up. It's got a deep-set viewing window with a metal hood over it to protect the glass in hard-use conditions. This is not a range toy. This is built for the worst environments on Earth. It's
Oh, well, now
The
that
bedroom?
you say it like that.
The worst environments on Earth. Are we talking about what? India? Like, what's the worst environment on Earth, Jake, where you're like, this is the place I'm most uncomfortable? Like, what, a furry con?
Probably within 100 yards of Bucky at the range. Just kidding. Sorry, Bucky. That was That was a mean stray. Shouldn't have said it. So it's the first thing that came to mind.
What did Bucky ever do to you? Jeez.
We're not going to
Walmart?
talk about it.
waterproof to 35 meters and rated for -40 all the way up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to run wherever duty takes you. Now let's talk about the glass. Steiner's high precision optics give you a razor sharp distortion-free image at a true 1x magnification. And in the middle of this large 21 by 16 millimeter window.
Yeah, see, again, it's like when you say best and you say large followed up by 21 by 16. It's like, I just don't
Is
believe
that
you.
smaller than the Acro window?
It's definitely smaller than the Koa's window, for sure. I don't know about the Acro, because the Acro is also really small. I have to look that up.
I think
Aim point Acro window size. Dude, the aim point acro is 15 by 15. That is awful. So, okay, all right, take it back. Compared to the acro, okay, that's a good window size, okay? Jeez. They filmed this in the Colt Optics stable. All right, bud. All right.
You've got a
He's got
crisp
handsome horses on the mind. I know.
MOA red aiming
He
dot.
meant studio.
It's designed for both eyes open shooting.
See, look, they always say this retarded stuff. It's like, we got a 3 MOA dot built for speed and precision, designed to be used with both eyes open. I'm going to go back to the voice. Sorry.
We'll redo that. All right. Designed for both eyes open shooting. Distortion free with a super fast 3 MOA dot that's also infinitely precise.
Large 21 by 16 millimeter window. You've got a crisp 3.3.
Ira Spartan, we literally took 30 seconds on the BCM 9 or whatever they're calling it, because it's a 9mm direct blowback PCC. I don't care.
MOA red aiming dot. It's designed for both eyes open shooting, so you keep full situational awareness while staying on target. The second gen MPS features 8 brightness settings, 6 for daylight and 2 that are night vision compatible.
Why though? When modern Holosun offerings have more night vision settings than your professional red dots, I'm like, why though? Why though?
And these buttons right here, they're redesigned to be bigger than the previous generation, so you can adjust on the fly, even with gloves on. No fumbling around when things get real. Now let's talk power. The MPS 2.0 runs on a standard CR2032 battery and delivers over 90,000 hours of runtime at a level 4 brightness and over 27,000 hours at level 5.
See, what they mean there is that at a real brightness setting, you get 20,000 hours of battery life. Because they only have 6 daylight settings, which is very, very low. That's weird. I don't know why. Why are people doing this? Why is EOTech like reverting to other optics manufacturers and reducing the amount of daylight settings you get, or just overall settings you get? Why are companies doing this? And they're not charging you any less money, you know? They're charging you more money for less options. Thanks, guys. Although I know there's no black girl voices. There's this one.
They're saying the one you just did is a black girl voice. I don't know why.
What's
It's
this one?
auto-tuned.
This has a black girl as the PFP. Is this better or worse?
You sound like a troon.
Oh, that's bad. Shoot.
It's ma'am.
It's ma'am.
Is this like a spacey one? What is this called? Mothership.
Fuck.
Not bad.
That's just bad. That's really
This is bad, my bad. Alright.
Apologize. This is Cartoon Woman. Hello, Cartoon Woman. Yes.
Perfect.
Is this good?
It doesn't sound like a woman. Just sounds like a squeaky noise.
All right, fine. We'll leave that off. This anymore. Let's get to your guys' super chats, and then let's get to the Stoker Stroker himself. All right, and then we'll finish up with Rage Bait. It'll be like a 9-hour stream. Handsome Horse for $20 says it's Big Toe Money Monday. My Siggas, free Dugan. Christ is King. I should also be getting more Carnicon shorts in. I think I'm getting 4 more of them. So we will be giving away more at some point in the future. But here is your Big Toe Money Mondays BTM.
This is a song of the summer shit. You know it's funny. Walk on stage with no shoes on. All I need is feet, boy, I'm too gone. Hey, take money, big toe money. This is a song of the summer shit. You know it's funny. Walk on stage with no shoes on. All I need is feet, boy, I'm too gone. My feet feel good, your feet where they should. Y'all just sitting in the grass with a cigarette. Take money, big toe money. That's a bigger check. Walking in, everybody.
I feel like that gets longer every time. I'm just waiting for it to end, and it just never does.
Yeah, it does.
Judge, hold it. Well, for you, it's like do you fall asleep like thinking about that and then wake up dreaming it? Do you ever
No.
wake up with your hands wrapped around your toes?
No.
No?
Sometimes I wake up and my arm is asleep because I slept with it up like this.
Sleep in the my heart goes out to you position. Judge Holden for 5 says, after reading all tomorrow's, Q as a name makes more sense since they manteloped the AR and used 6.5 Creedmoor as a waste filter for 8.6. Also, Richard, Pear Bear. Hey, people are buying your PFP again, bro. That's crazy.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, all tomorrow's is the weird one where the space farters end up coming back to take the W in the end, right? That's a funny one. Thank you, Judge Holden. And they sew together this one race into like this giant quilt of like just massive aliveness, I guess, right? Because they're like biologically manipulating them, and then like 20 gazillion years later, it turns out that they actually like benefited from that, and then they use it to undo something or other.
What do you-
Amorite for 2 says late and not very right-wing death squad of you. Right-wing death squad. What do you think it is that we do here exactly? Zanico, member for 10 months,
we do
says,
here, brown boy.
that's right. If we were RWDS, you wouldn't be here, bro.
Yeah, you wouldn't be invited, dude.
Zanico, member for 10 months, says someone in this chat won Sunday's USPSA match. Well, it wasn't you, so it's got to be Glock Shooter, I'm guessing. Okay. Wasn't me either, dude. Thank you, Zanico. Appreciate it. Lightsport for 2 says, hi, John. Hi, Jacob. Richard. Hi again, Jake. See, he loves Jake, dude. He's doing double dipping on Jake. Zanico for 2 says, I did better than usual Sunday. Just ask my favorite RO. Well, I saw what you did. Yeah, dude, you were doing like a whole 60%, which is like 2 times better than that black instructor. Think about that, bro. You could literally be teaching classes right now. You could be yelling at women online and teaching classes. You're literally twice as good as that black instructor.
Hell yeah.
Crazy work. Dude, that's my next scam. I just got to start teaching people, right? Because they like the people who shoot and teach are so bad, like so pathetically bad. Like the barrier to entry is so low and there's so much money on the table. It's crazy. Damn. Glock Shooter for 2 says Zany is 5% from stomping focus trip. Like 50%, bro. Glock 34 supremacy. All right, bud. All right, let's take you to bed, Grandpa. Thank you, Glock Shooter. Appreciate it. Although, no, wait, no, you're actually really good. Glock Shooter's good. I keep forgetting which one's bad and which one's good. King Callis for 20 says, big toe money from Nulo for the industry video. The best one, to be honest. VOD Lurker makes work go by fast. I'm glad to hear that, King Callis. Can I have permission to lurk in the Discord? Christ is King. Free Dugan. My boy literally did everything right. I agree. And Christ is King. Yeah, if you just send me a DM, I'll get you into the Discord. Like, it's not a difficult thing to do. Appreciate that, Callis. Now I have to look up that video, though, because I don't even know which one that is. New low for the industry. See, there's so many versions of Big Toe Money that unless it's like one of the main ones, I
like
have
a whole
no idea which
genre
one you're
now.
referring to. What's up?
It's like a whole genre now.
It kind of is its own. Oh, dude, that was back when John had long hair. Look at this crap. Jeez. See, now we have to scroll through this video and figure out which Big Toe Money was it. Oh, dude, that's when we had Golden Web on. Yeah, heck yeah, that was a fun stream. All right, where is... It's also, unfortunately, one of those streams where it's super long. So, attempting to find where I did this. It wasn't on an outro, was it? Maybe it was an outro. I'd have to find it.
I don't know.
Big Toe Money. I could go through the transcript to see if I could find it.
You should make somebody else do this for you.
Richard, please. Richard, are you still here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you have time, I don't want to like keep you up later than you want. But if you have time, if you could go to this video, I'll drop the link in chat so that we could continue on. Otherwise, again, we're going to be here all night anyways. So I don't know what Jake is complaining about. You act like you're going to bed tonight. Lightsport for 2 says, did Danger Zone sign this guy up? What's that in reference? Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Thank you. Thank you, Lightsport. Oh, did we ban Danger Zone?
I don't think so.
No, did he leave or is he still here?
In the YouTube?
He's still there.
In Discord?
No, he's still there.
Okay.
He was there. We made jokes about banning him.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know what actually happens in there because I'm not like I don't keep in touch with all the day-to-day stuff. You know, that's your job. Okay, that's the Janny's job, not mine.
I don't do shit, John. You're
just in there. You're just paying attention. McLeod for 2 says Brass Vax versus Poverty Operator. I take Brass Vax. I really would. Jail Gonis for 2 says with the hat and setup, I thought it was Hawkeye. Talking about the shooter. Very funny. Thank you, Jail Gonis. Matt Danka, 67 jewels for 6-7. Appreciate that. Our autistic endeavors for 1,000 jewels says Go Trophy. Truk, thank you. Lost Arrow for 5 says Bazinga. Cringe cultural reference. All right, I got that one. McLeod for 2 says flamethrowers don't care about plates. You know, that reminds me of one of my favorite videos where it's The guy who was a flamethrower operator on, I forget, it was Iwo Jima or one of the other places. And, he was talking about all the people that died and like hearing them scream. And then it was like, did you have like, nightmares or PTSD? And he was like, no, I loved every minute of it. And he's just talking about like burning people alive and hearing them scream and whatnot. I was like, all right, that guy doesn't have PTSD. He has fond memories. Thank you, McLeod. Appreciate that. McLeod for another 2 says, In-N-Out is for blown out taste buds, all horrible. I know that weird Californians claim it's like the best thing ever, but I would say it's kind of mediocre. Pacific Northwest Minuteman for 2 joules. Thank you. Again for 2 joules. And again for 2 joules. Thank you very much. I don't know what those are, but thank you. Tap Rack Stovepipe for 2 says, false. Worst handgun ever is anything SIG made. Worst? No. Because we got like, I know people love high points as a meme, but high points are actually garbage handguns. You got it, Richard? And there's so many other bad handguns out there as well. Like SIG makes a product that might kill you, but I mean, it's not like the worst thing ever. I mean, there's worse fates than death.
Yeah, I got it pulled up where you had a cube.
No, you gotta. That's mine.
Oh,
that's yours. Right?
Yeah.
No, shoot.
I don't think that's right.
Wait.
No, I did it wrong. My bad. No, yours is on screen.
Yes, that's the one you sent me.
Yeah, just. Did you find where the big toe money was?
I thought it was. No, that's not it. Never mind.
Okay, well, we'll keep working on it. Fat Guy's Rule for 200 joules says, jammin'. Appreciate that. Chudge Holden for 2 says, John, you missed earlier supers. Richard Pear Bear. Yeah, we got it. Don't worry. Sorry about that. Thank you, Fat Guy's Rule. And at Chudge Holden. Zanico for 2 says, you missed early super chats. Duh. I got to him. Don't worry, guys. It's a long stream. We got all night together here. Okay. I got 4 hours of playtime. You and me are going nowhere. Tulip for 20 says, so it's overpriced pre-build to complete the YouTube scammer arc. Now they just need to make it where you can rent it so it's never obsolete. That's true. And you end up paying 9,000 credits for a 2,000 credit pre-build. Also, kill yourself, dang it. Hey, we're over 2 hours in the stream. We can say that now.
Kill yourself, faggot.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, dude, the rent to own scam, that's got to come. Okay, that's got to be a thing. We kind of already have it with the 4Pay and the 5Pay type stuff, where essentially it's like, yeah, just buy it at 27% interest and like pay it off over like 6 months or something like that. It's not a big deal, right? We kind of already have that. So, and again, that is the trap of borrowing money. Awful. Thank you, Tulip. I appreciate that. You, my friend, Megabase, thank you for the support. You get a taser face as well.
I'm a pregnant woman. Taser.
Lightsport for 2 says, what's good about this rifle?
I don't understand. Care. No, again, I don't fucking care, brother. Come on.
Okay,
I don't
great,
fucking care.
But
What's
just
good
keep
about
going.
this optic?
Thank you very much, Lightsport.
Hop was on his period during that clip.
Yeah, Hop was PMSing. Okay, he has PMS Gen 2 there. Doc the Octus for 5 says, go straight to their FFL and then straight to the gun safe. Oh, in terms of like where they buy it and then where it ends up. Yeah, they never shoot the thing. But they know it's zeroed, so if they ever needed to use it in an emergency, then it would totally work. See Axe Grind in chat. Hope you're doing well, man. Doc the Octus, thank you. Crack Viking for 5 says, John, red dot suggestion for the H&R Doe gun. See X reply to this stream. Where did it go? There it is. Red dot. Oh, well, you got to do a carry handle mount. So what do I recommend for a carry handle mount? That's a good question. Something simple. If you don't want to spend like an insane amount of money, probably just like either the ARO 26 mil, the ARO Evo, or just a standard ARO. If you don't like glare at all, then you got to just go with like the Romeo 5 Gen 2, right? Cheap, inexpensive, gets the job done. It's the right size, and it's not going to look hideous. Does what it's got to do. Thank you, Crack Viking. Appreciate that. Hope you're having a good night. Amorai Boy for 2 says, John, stop poo-pooing the loot drops. I mean, that's what these people will eventually be, but I think in the time being, it's just like raiding people's wallets, okay? Instead of Raiders arms, we got raiding wallets. Twink Glitter for 5. Hey, don't talk about Jake that way. Didn't know if you saw Trench is recycling videos of him with grandson thumb. Ouch. The Neo FUD is finally running out of ideas, lol. Yeah, I mean, listen, the grind gets to everyone, okay? And when you're on the daily 2, 3, 4 videos a day grind, like, content is a premium. And if that means sometimes you got to go back and dip in the well a little bit more, you're going to do that. And whosever name you got to use to do it is exactly what it's going to be. All right.
I want to remind everybody, Trench Grenade is in the Army. So that means anyone in here who is a taxpayer, you technically own him. He's your property.
He's your slave. Yes.
You can do with him whatever you would like.
The government doesn't want you to know this, but Trench Grenade is free.
Quick PSA. He's free use.
Free use, dude. Imagine that as a tattoo. Free use. Jeez. Sea Runner for 5 says, it's simple, yeah. We finna get Gat Pack Fo, the side piece, and we finna get ADM Fo, the boomstick. Resident Scholar voice. Dude. Oh, Resident Scholar. I thought you were talking about was Armed Scholar. I'm like, he does not talk like that. Armed Scholar talks monotone with the wide eye, you know, and he just talks like this at a cadence like this, and he just continues to talk like this. It's simple, yo. We finna get Gat Pack 4, the side piece, since we finna get ADM for the boomstick.
Oh shit! It's only 300. Damn.
That's a good one. Thank you, Sea Runner. I forgot I uploaded that one. Zanyco for 2 says Hodge Mod 2 is C405 and half the price. That's the thing about these Mustang armament builds, is that there are legitimate, like, good Gucci rifles for way less money. You know, when you're like more expensive than Knight's armament, which I wouldn't even really recommend buying, you know, just because they're really expensive. You got a problem. You know, your value proposition is out the window. It's down the river. It's across the valley. You know, it's sitting at the mountaintop thinking about its life and all the mistakes that's led it to this point in time. Thank you, Zanico. Appreciate that. Iron Within for 5 says, happy Big Toe Money Monday. Jake, put on the damn Crocs. Also, got a Harosa EPS for my EDC after hearing you recommend it. Very nice. Very good optic. Well, listen, I am glad to hear that, because anytime I recommend anything, to me, I'm like putting my name on it. So, which is why I recommend very few things, you know? So I'm glad that it's working out well for you. And he also says Romans 8:28, which says that, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Thank you very much. Even when you're going through bad times, you know, it all works together for God's good. Thank you, Iron Within. Appreciate that, sir.
I don't have Crocs.
Weren't we going to send you Crocs and like with a bunch of
Yes.
$1 bills and then make you wear them on stream? That was the thing. Yeah. Amrite Boy for 2 says Mark Westrom would never. Armalite stays winning based. Thank you, Amrite Boy. Sea Runner for another 2 says I was skeptical at first, but this is a literal scam. Well, ironically, it's not actually a literal scam because they're selling you exactly what's on the paper. Unfortunately, what is here on screen is garbage. So, you know, scam is actually literally not the correct term, but, you know, overinflated. What did I call it? Overpriced and underdeveloped. Yes. Sea Runner, thank you. Mitt Rhombus for 5 says Geisley, Mod 1A, DDM4 V7, BCM, MCMR 16, and LWR something. Whatever this thing is, PSA comment section tier dentist build. I agree with that. Like optics set up incorrectly. Overpriced rifle, garbage tier, everything else. It has a lot of PSA in this. Yeah.
At least it's
which is
not
ironic
backwards.
considering he praised PSA. Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
I said at least it's not backwards.
It's true. It's not military coded. Thank you, Mitt Rhombus. Zanyco for 2 says, then give me the Leopold Mark IV. Give it to you. I'm not giving you nothing, bro. Thank you, Zany. Able Demo for 5 says, if it wasn't sighted in, the dentist would actually have to shoot it. Who wants that? Good point. I know that's what everybody was saying. Like, these guys don't shoot, John. Everyday Survey for $20 says, hi, Focus Crew. You guys help get me through my shifts at work with the VODs, so figure I'd say thanks. That is very kind of you. I know that there are like literally hundreds and hundreds of people that watch the VODs or just lurk on the live streams, and they've never commented before. Like, I've never seen their name. I don't know anything about them. They don't interact with the chat. But regardless, I greatly appreciate you for hanging out, okay? And hopefully getting some laughs, getting some giggles. And for $20, sir, you get raped.
Get ready to lose some pounds. Get ready to get shot and thrown in a ditch. Get ready to get dipped in acid baths. But first, you're going to get raped.
Thank you, Alex Jones. Thank you, Everyday Survey. Greatly appreciated. You're also going to get a big toe money because I see Richard has it now pulled up for the previous gentleman. All right, hit it.
Song of the summer shit, you know it's fun. Walk on stage with no shoes on. All I need is feet, boy, I'm too gone. Hey, take money, big toe money. This is song of the summer shit, you know it's funny. Walk on stage with no shoes on. All I need is feet, boy, I'm too gone. My feet feel good, your feet where they should. Y'all just sitting in the grass with a cigarette. Take money, big toe money, that's a bigger check. Walking in, everybody's.
That's the old one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Am I
the
crazy?
normal one.
That's the normal one.
Yeah. Well,
That's all right. Maybe that's what he meant. We'll keep going. Thank you, Everyday Survey.
I think he's
That's
talking
fair
about
for
the
two.
one that was like Inception of like me listening to it.
Oh,
And then you played
you're
it
right.
again where it was
There
me
were
listening,
some really
watching
good ones.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Chuckster for 2 says, didn't PewView collab with a bad 2011 from Watchtower? I know
Yes.
that he did a Watchtower collab. I don't know if they're bad because again, I'm not like a 2011 aficionado. It's like I shoot some, I know some of them, but it's
held one
not
of
like
those
my
before.
wheelhouse. So I couldn't tell you what was good or bad there. Thank you, Chuckster. Amrai Boy for 2 says, I'm never invited to anything. It's the smell. We've told you this. Once a week showering is not okay. You know, the innie outie reversey underwear trick, not actually a good thing in real life, Amrai Boy. We've talked about this, okay?
Yeah, go take a siesta, bro.
Siesta, bro. Cicero for 10 says, I have 2 AR-15 platforms, but keep rocking the AUG most of the time. Taped to the IR laser button to the front grip, DIRV in front of the 4X ACOG with piggyback 20-inch barrel AUGtism. Yep. That sounds about right, Cicero.
Kill yourself.
Whoa, I didn't say that. Cicero,
I said it.
Disavow everything Jake just said there. That was mean of him. Arr. Sam Toaster for 10 jewels says, hiding. Appreciate that. Mitt Rhombus for 5 says, put every version of Big Toe Money on a YouTube and Spotify playlist. Christ is king. Utahism is based, and don't buy overpriced nonsense. Also true. Thank you, Mitt Rhombus. I appreciate that. You know, it's funny. Around the Fire already has all of them on a playlist. I just haven't made that playlist public. I could just share his playlist, and you guys could just listen to all the 20 different versions. I actually like the anime one. Do you remember that horrible cringe anime one? It was so bad, but being so bad is what makes it good. Microaggressor, which just like black people. Microaggressor. $1,000 jewels says loot box. Thank you. Valo Russ for 2 jewels says Silver Star. Appreciate that. And Axe to Grind for 5 says cheers to the real ones in chat. Good stream. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out. Nozaku says, hey John, recently got scammed on tax swap. Watch out for a Knights SR25 lower with KM 124785. Yep. I'll be looking out for that one. Richard, did you save that one?
Probably when I was trying to click the comment thing to hide.
Oh, okay. It's just funny. It's like, yeah, I'm looking out for that. I'll remember not to buy that Knights armament lower. Thank you for saving me from that scam. Honic Kali Chronic for 2 says, only use credit cards with 0% interest, pay off, repeat. Yeah, I know. My parents are autistic like that. I say autistic is just like they get a new credit card every 18 months with 0% APR. Then they use it for that 18-month period. And then they pay everything off, and then they move on to something else. And they just keep doing that over and over again. I was like, okay, fair enough, whatever. That's how you want to do your finances. That works. Mason Flint for 5 says, thoughts on Palmer Luckey working on a rifle to surpass the AR platform. Palmer Luckey is an odd man who may be the Antichrist. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe his rifle will be really good then. I don't know. Does that help you make
He's
rifles?
also an anime weeb.
Yeah, super based, right? That was what you're trying to say there.
No.
You said it in like a disapproving tone, but I know you meant it in like a that's so based, right, guys?
No, definitely not. Definitely not based.
Matthew for 67 jewels says 6'7". And all I do is overpenetrate. Still one of the best names out there. Says all I do is overpenetrate. Over on Rumble, Jared for 2 says donating because focus shooting is in the red. Truk. Bedtime, Proverbs 3:5-6. Christ is king and God is good. Indeed. Proverbs 3:5-6. All right. Oh my gosh. I hate it when Bible Gateway doesn't do exactly what I tell it to do. It's like, what am I paying you for? All right. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him and he will make your paths straight. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that, Jarrett. Have a great night, sir. And Jarrett, again, oh, no, wait. No, that's the same super chat just twice. Huh. He sent the same thing twice. I think that must have just been a YouTube issue, not actually a Rumble issue, not a him issue. All right. Over on Ko-Fi, Amorite Boy says, you know who likes 5'7" dumb cartel members who think it's still effective against good plate armor? Be better than a dumb cartel member. Truk. Unhigh So Fly becomes a Ko-Fi caffeine creep. Thank you. And Geonosian for 3 says, I have like 1,000+ rounds of random 9mm that I'm going to feed the Turk 2011 in an afternoon and see what happens. Well, hopefully it blows up. Not because I want you to be injured, but because it would be the funniest possible outcome. That's all.
Professional hater John.
Yeah.
Did you find the other clip, Richard, or was that it?
I went through that whole stream that you sent me, and it is not there.
I think maybe you sent the wrong one. Anyway, so Stoker-matic, right? Bill Stoker, is it? Bill Stroker? I forget the actual name. But anyways, let me look up Matt Pranka. Bill.
While you do that, I'm going to go ahead and say my goodbyes and get on out of here for the night.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for hanging out, Richard. Hope you have a good day at work tomorrow. And hope that things are good, going well and getting better every day.
Going to do my best. You guys have been a big help. Quite a few of you guys have reached out to me, and I really, really do appreciate it. So thank you guys. I love you all.
Absolutely. Have a good night, sir. Appreciate you. Peace. Bye. Godspeed, sir. All right. So back to this little discussion here. Bill Stoker, he made a video critiquing Matt Pranka's, famous CQB entry video, which we covered on the stream quite a while ago, which you guys have probably seen, right? So here we have a little bit of streamception going on. But if you've seen the Delta CAG Squadron's CQB training, which we should just play here. Well, no, we're not going to play here, but they get off the little bird. They assault the objective. Spoiler alert, that's actually Matt Pranka's POV from one of the later years he was in, which 2019. I don't remember when exactly he got out, but that was actually Matt Pranka's POV. You can hear him talking in the video. And so he decided to critique it. And that did not go particularly well for Bill Stoker, who has like 2-week Marine CQB course or something like that. And so the original title of this was like Matt Pranka takes old man behind woodshed and puts him down or something like that, which is really funny. But Ben Stager still has their hour-long interview process, not interview, but like debate back and forth, where essentially Bill Stoker backs down over and over and over and over again and essentially apologizes and just completely 180s on Matt Pranka versus his original critique video, which was like, oh, this is stupid. These guys don't know what they're doing. This is going to get somebody killed. You guys can't do this. And then Matt Pranka shows up and is like, well, not really, actually. Maybe you who don't know what you're talking about should just shut up, It's like, if you ever see me critiquing somebody's, like, I don't know, violin playing abilities. I don't play the violin, spoiler alert. I don't even play the cello, okay? That's my wife's cello. It's like, it's pretty much useless. My critiques of somebody else's, like, technique or something like that. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay? Anyways, this video came up, and I think that this one is great. Not just because it's Stoker-matic, of course, but also because of the thumbnail specifically, which is why I put all of those wonderful characters in the thumbnail, is because the title of the video is essentially Men of No Consequence. And the people that he decided to put on there is Risky Krisky, who I actually quite like. I don't have any issues with Risky at all. I've talked to him several times. I think he's actually a good person who has also gone out of his way to help other people in need, specifically with the natural disasters and flooding that they had in his area. And he was out there helping people and doing his duty to his fellow man. No problems with Risky Krisky at all. Trench Grenade is on there. And I'm like, there's probably some valid critique. Someone could have valid critiques of Trench Grenade. Okay, I think that's possible to have.
Mhm.
And then you have Brass Facts on there, and I'm like, why is Brass Facts on there with the other two? It's like I think Trench and Risky are both incendiary, right, with their rhetoric, so to speak. You know, Trench Grenade could be copying other people, whereas I think Risky is genuine in his critiques. But I guess you could say that Brass Facts is like preparedness focused. But I don't know why he's put up here with the quote unquote men of no consequence. Like he's just, I don't know.
Is it because he's gay?
You know, that might be alluded to in the video, but correct me if I'm wrong. Jake, do you have a girlfriend currently?
No, I don't. Thanks for reminding me, John.
Does Brass Facts have a girlfriend currently?
I don't know, actually.
You don't know?
The jury's still out on that one.
Okay. Anyways, so the video, men of no consequence. Modern men are becoming of no consequence. You know, there might be some truth here, okay? There might be some things that we align here, Jake. But GunTube is dead. GunTube isn't dead. It's just always changing, okay? It's fun to talk about, okay? It's just one of those things. It's a revolving topic. Much like I just saw an Honest Outlaw video in my recommendeds. Which 9mm pistol has the lowest recoil? Let's find out, guys. All right, 100,000 views, whatever.
Sometimes I think we just need to punch ourselves in the gut. And this may be a gut punch for you.
Your mic's out, John.
I'm not talking, so
Oh,
that would be why.
I saw you moving your mouth.
No, it's just, have you ever wanted to punch yourself in the gut?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, all right.
Maybe a punch that you want to give somebody. But let's dive into this. You know, when you get into the YouTube space, especially the gun tubes.
Like also the weird thing that these guys have where they always want to like attack someone else physically. It's like this might be a gut punch that you want, or maybe you want to punch someone else in the gut. Oh, because modern men suck. Rah, hoo-ah.
Somebody. But let's dive into this. You know, when you get into the YouTube space, especially the gun tube space, and I use that term with a little bit of darkness in my heart space, right? It's this modern word that folks love to use. Oh, the problem with the space is that we suck and we don't have enough whatever.
I mean, space is just like another term that people use. It's not like some woke liberal bullshit. It's like, oh, you use the term space, bro? That's crazy. I don't know. You call it the industry. You could just call it YouTube. But when I say like the gun tube space, like I'm referring to people who do, I don't know, gun videos on a semi-frequent basis. You know, it's like it's pretty easily understood what I mean by space. I don't know. Is this too liberal because we're using updated language for people? I don't know. Safe space. I get it. Yeah, that's right. Safe space. You guys need your spaces. I see.
We don't have enough whatever. It's not the problem is not actually with folks that make gun tube videos. Although, if I'm honest with you, I don't know that I would ask a single one of them to help me cut down some trees, build a wall, put up a pole barn, fix some plumbing, because the odds are they haven't created anything with their hands.
Spoiler alert. Like your gun tubers may not be construction people. Like this kind of does break the boomer mentality when you tell them that people don't actually, like in the modern world, and maybe you could argue this is unfortunate, but people actually don't have the need to know how to build like a house from scratch.
Some people do.
Well, some people absolutely do, of course, right? But
And
if
those are
you're
the only
if
those are the
you're an
only people I
IT guy,
respect.
if you're an IT guy, right, Jake? Spoiler alert, your area of proficiency doesn't really need to revolve around construction of houses from base materials, right?
Mhm.
It's not really your job in society, right? Not everybody needs to be some like frontier woodsman. Like those aren't bad things to have, of course, right? And I think
Yeah.
there's certain things that every man should be like mechanically competent enough to do, of course. But again, it's like the way the world works. Like, hey, you want to upload videos to YouTube, Stokermatic. Well, it's going to take people that have a certain set of skills, okay, that does not revolve around building buildings, right?
I'm I'm going to take a contrarian angle because I want to. I think every man should be able to do a lot of things that most men nowadays don't know how to do. And I think the lack of understanding in a lot of aspects has led to culture being the way it is and us having weak little faggots who do IT for a living. I only respect blue collar tradesmen. If you don't do blue collar jobs, you're
Well,
weak
you
and
say
I'm gonna
that,
crush
but you
up and
you
turn you
enjoy
into
a lot of the
fuel.
labors of non-blue collar things, right?
No, I don't, John.
Not at all. Okay,
John, do you know how
fair enough.
rugged I
No,
am?
but I agree. Men need to be mechanically competent, right? Men need to be able to do a wide variety of things, of course, right? But again, that doesn't mean that every single person has to be able to do all of these things, right? Like, I don't need my gunsmith to also be my philosopher, right? I think that's a wild ask. And unfortunately, a lot of problems come in when your gun tuber starts to become your father figure, right? Or your family advice person. You know, I'm just saying, okay, there's some times where maybe you can let the gun tuber just talk about guns and let the other things, you know, be done by people who actually know what they're talking about. Right. So I don't require people to be able to do all things at all times. I think that's very silly. I think it's a silly requirement. I think you should be able to work on a car and like build mechanical things, of course. Like duh. You know, if you're actually like so incapable of doing just generic manual labor, you should just be put down. Right. I think that's fair. I think that's moderate. But I also don't need you to have like some intricate knowledge of HVAC just because you happen to have that, of course. Right. But I don't need every single person to have intricate knowledge of how to set up an air conditioner unit for a Mexican or for a lesbian couple or something, right?
All right.
Don't really
Whoa,
care.
whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa, whoa.
Because they have there's no consequence to their lives. And this is the issue that we have in modernity with who we are as men. We have lost our consequence. Sure, we love to run around and talk a big game. We love to consume videos, right? We would love to make fun of the guys who play games in their mom's basement and look at the grown men who are addicted.
Wait, do we?
I don't know.
Wait. I don't know. I'm confused. It seems like he's saying like back-to-back contradicting things. Like being men of no consequence, people who like to run their mouth. When again, the most famous interaction he has ever had is running his mouth against Matt Pranka, which again is just funny, right? I don't particularly care. I
Matt
just think it's
Pranka,
funny.
Matt Pranka can't cut down a tree, so
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, these pussies can't cut down a tree. I wouldn't ask you to come over and cut down a tree. It's like, I don't know. I wouldn't ask you to come over and hang out around my kids. Okay, what does that say about you, bro?
To entertainment on YouTube. But it's not entertainment because it's preparedness, it's survival, it's guns. And our whole lives are wasted. Question for any gun tuber. What would happen if your channel disappeared?
I imagine that's rhetorical. I mean, like, anybody who has a huge source of income from YouTube is like, what happened if your YouTube channel disappeared? It's like, well, you'd lose a lot of money. You'd lose a lot of
Vintage
connections.
Warfare.
It's like, it's like, Jake, what would you do if your job disappeared? It's like, well, you'd be out of a job. Like, is this, what are we even talking about here?
I'd
Would
probably
anyone miss you, Jake?
I'd start riding on a war rig and hunting down ethnic minorities in the town.
But based are so maybe we should hope that your job disappears, you know, so we can get the warlord Jake. Okay, all right. You still have the mask on, but you have the whole like, you know, crisscross spike leather everywhere and whatnot.
I'll
Still
have
with
like
the mask though.
I'll have an ear necklace. It'll be really good.
Yeah.
If the channel disappeared, the answer should be nothing because there is no consequence.
Why should the answer be nothing? I'm very confused. Why should your channel have no consequence when the point of the video is that men have no consequence? Like my channel does have consequence. It does have effect in the real world. Like, duh. I'm also confused because, you know, he's on here making these appeals to modern men. And I would imagine, okay, from his perspective, he is attempting to have consequence with his YouTube channel. right? Like he's attempting to sway the hearts and minds of his viewers in some way. He's making
Yeah.
an appeal to men. Like he's attempting to have consequence, but at the same time saying that YouTube shouldn't have consequence.
Yeah, it feels very anything that a YouTuber says about other YouTubers is just hypocritical to me.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I get what you're saying, but no. You know. You get what I mean? No.
Happen if your channel disappeared? If the channel disappeared, the answer should be nothing because there is no consequence to that channel.
But what if you made $1 million a year and supported your family and businesses off of YouTube? Why should YouTube have no consequence? Like YouTube is just a job for me, right? I'm a 1099 contractor according to Google, right? I'm just confused. Like anyone who does contract, your job should be no consequence, right? I'm just like, what about the person who made your microphone or the graphics on your t-shirt or like anything? Are they just all of no consequence?
I mean,
I'm just
Chinese
confused at his
children-
standards here.
Chinese
Chinese
children are-
children,
yeah.
sure, but we'll pretend that an American designed the bear paddling on the rowboat. Okay, it was printed by tiny hands in China. Yes, okay, grant that. Excuse me.
The harder question is for you. It's for I. What would happen if you disappeared? If tomorrow you weren't here, what would change? What would break?
I mean, again, it's like I'm not sure what he gets at. It was like for me, it's like obviously I have a wife and kids and a family, and people that would miss me, and I would affect the life very deleteriously if I just disappeared tomorrow, right? Of course, obviously. Now, not everyone is in that same situation with wives and kids, So maybe their life isn't quite as. Maybe he's saying that your life isn't quite as valuable as mine, which maybe that's based. Yeah, you're right. Everybody who doesn't have a wife and as many kids as I do, you're actually less important than me. And everybody who has more kids than me is actually more important than me, and so it's my L. Yeah, this actually would come across much funnier if he had a gun pointed at the screen right now. What would
Double
happen if you
Sean
disappeared
style.
tomorrow? Huh?
What would be more than simply missed and thought about for a day? The hard and honest answer is for most men, the answer is nothing. Nothing will change again because we have.
But is that true though? I mean, I know that a lot of men in society have a feeling of meaningless, of hopelessness. The modern society, if you will, is not conducive to purpose, right? It's like an anti-teleological existence that we currently have, right? You're basically drones working for the man, working for Israel, whatever you want to call it, right? So I agree that there is a lack of purpose in the modern man. But I don't think that that actually means that they have less value. I think that it's more difficult to understand that value. It might be more difficult to act it out in a way that society finds acceptable. But maybe we can change that, okay? Maybe we can give men a purpose, something to struggle towards. Me and you, Mr. Bill, okay? I think we can find something for men to have purpose, okay, to have fulfillment in life, to strive towards, to struggle towards together.
I'm gonna be overly critical of this guy right now, but I think he feels really cool saying this right now with the black background, so serious. I think he thinks like, damn, I'm badass. And he's literally doing he's doing the Achilles from the movie Troy. That's why no one will remember your name. That's the bit he's doing right now.
Well, but he's
It's
not
just kinda
even
funny.
that cool though, right? Because
Well, he thinks he's cool.
He's just asserting all of this stuff. And he's not even like trying to propose a solution to anything. He's just saying, yeah, modern man, no consequence. They suck. I'm mad. Urgh. Okay.
Lost our consequence. We've lost something that you have to fight to get back. This is
Struggle,
where
yeah.
we're at. You have to
You
fight
need
to get your
struggle.
consequence back.
Our struggle.
It used to not be an option or a choice, man. Your life had to have consequence, or quite simply, you wouldn't make it.
Is he talking about like the more interconnected nature of society pre-industrialization, right? Or even like pre-agricultural revolution, right? So we just need to go back to sticks and stones because your tribe like literally depends on you performing. Otherwise, you guys don't eat and everyone dies, right?
Mhm.
I don't know. It's like It is also super ironic coming from like the late Gen X kind of boomer crowd who like had probably the best world to grow up in and kind of just pissed and shat it all away, right? It's like it is kind of rich coming from you a little bit. You know, I'm not saying that your argument's totally off. Okay, people do have a sense of purposelessness in life. Okay, for sure. All right, but our reasons for that are wildly different.
We have somehow separated the idea of physical living, right, with responsibility and duty.
Yeah, Risky. I was thinking a bit of projection as well, you know? And listen, for vets, it can be really hard. You lived and sacrificed some of the best years of your life for essentially a lie. And now you've got to retroactively justify that to yourself. And you can claim that everyone else is a sissy and had everything else handed to them and needs to pull themselves up by the bootstraps or whatnot. But it's kind of just you floating through your post-usefulness life, right? It's a lot of men as they get older and they don't have that same drive. They don't have that same capability that they did when they were younger and they feel like they're useless, right? So you got a lot of these men post 50, post 60, and they just kind of exist in this malaise of booze and cigarettes and degeneracy until one day the Grim Reaper comes a knocking.
Yeah. I think this is 2/3 life crisis, self-projection. I don't even know. It's
My last check's going to bounce. Yes, I've heard that mentality. Boomers say, I want the last check I write to bounce. And it's like, what about, you talk about consequence. What about your family? What about your children, your wife, your progeny, your nation? Right? What about those people? Do you want your last check to bounce for those people? It's like, no, you live for yourself. It's like, yeah, it's a hollow, meaningless existence. Pathetic, right? Like if I was like literally just living for myself, what would I'd be Pewview. I'd be one of these guys scamming you retards for overpriced Gucci rifles. Like if I was just living for myself, like, come on. The amount of shenanigans I would get up to, just like, why not? What else do I got to do? Okay.
Get Risky and Drunk Frank on.
Risky says people were asking him to come on in chat. He says, I can't tonight, too busy being inconsequential at the fire station. Yeah, you know, Risky just like putting his life out there to like protect people from forest fires and other things that are going on right now in the world. It's like, yeah, you know, it's inconsequential, meaningless. Okay, bro. Don't worry about it. Okay. Bill Stoker's got it handled. He wouldn't ask you to come over and cut down a tree, but maybe if his house was on fire, you'd be there regardless, right?
No longer are people, men, trying to live a good life and have responsibility and perform. We're more concerned about, oh, you're infringing on my right to speak, to healthcare, to do whatever, to have whatever I want. And there's
See, again, it's one of those things where I want to ask him like what he paid for his first house. And not because I particularly care, right, on an individual level, like good on you or whatnot, but I'm just curious. I'm curious if he like believes that maybe young people do have some legitimate complaints at all, right? Or if he'd say they're all meaningless bunk. I'm just curious. All right. So I want a little peek into his mind here. That's all. Just for reference, okay?
no action in order to be of consequence in those areas. All we want is to receive. We've forgotten and become.
Also, I feel like the people who pick out the worst aspects of American culture are just talking about minorities. Like, oh, you want free healthcare, you want free housing, you want everything to just be given you on a silver platter. And I'm like, wait, are you talking about black people? Right? Is that what you mean? Because like, I'll just spoiler alert here, like a tiny percentage of the population consumes like 80% of all welfare. Right? So if you're like, oh, these kids just want everything handed to them on a silver platter, I'm like, you mean the black people that you like let come into the country or, you know, allowed to be these Section 8 breeding farms? Like, who are we talking about again? It's like when people point to the South and say the South is so obese and so evil and so violent ridden. And I'm like, I don't know if you want to go there. I mean, you can. It's funny. I have a little map for you, actually. That'll be very helpful at understanding this dilemma. But I don't think he would go there. See, that's the thing, though. Gen X boomers want to pretend to be based. They want to pretend to be like red pilled. They want to pretend all of these things. but I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions. All right, I just want to see how far this based charade really goes. Okay.
Disconnected with the understanding, the proper understanding that virtues only exist in action. If you don't have consequence, it's because
Also, that's Aristotle, by the way. Virtues only exist in actions. He's literally taking us back. Okay, we're going Greco. Let's go.
with the understanding, the proper understanding that virtues only exist in action. If you don't have consequence, it's because you are not living the virtues. What are the virtues?
Please tell me.
Prudence.
Prudence, okay.
Having knowledge and wisdom. I see, it's more than just knowledge, right? Knowledge is information, it's facts. It's what you get.
Wait. Virtues only in action. And then he shows up knowledge and wisdom, which in and of themselves are not actions. So how do we act those out, right? Because they're not virtues until they're acted upon, right? They're like potential kinetic energy, right? It's almost there, but not yet. We got to act them out for them to actually become virtuous. So how do we pass that? How do we get to that level?
From watching a YouTube video. It's what you get from reading a book.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Go back.
Knowledge and wisdom. I see, it's more than just knowledge, right? Knowledge is information, it's facts. It's what you get from watching a YouTube video. It's what you get from reading a book. But it's more than that. See, wisdom is when knowledge has experienced friction, you've had some tension in your life, you've had a setback, and then you've overcome, you've adapted. And then the next time that something happens, the same end result is different, right? The end result is different, it's not the same.
Yep. That's how learning works. That's how humans forever. Yep. Yep. The McDonald's worker, when he puts the fries in for 30 seconds too long and then they come out burned. And then the next time he, puts them in for the correct amount of time, they don't come out burned and I don't have to shoot him at the drive-thru, right?
Is he just trying to explain to people that they need to be old? Like they need to be older so that they've learned things throughout life?
Yeah, it's like, hey kids, you need to go out there and learn things and experience things to learn things so that you can understand things so that you can have knowledge and then the wisdom to apply those things. Like, yep, that's kind of how life works. Yep, it's kind of like a one-way trip, so to speak. And yeah.
And that, like, you can't really rush that necessarily. Like, I suppose you could increase the speed of gaining wisdom, but some people never become wise.
If they say that you learn more from failures than from success, and this man must be a bastion of wisdom, surely.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so.
You've more than just learned something in your mind. Your whole being has learned something.
What?
Huh?
Sorry, go back.
You've more than just learned something in your mind.
Yep.
Your whole being has learned.
What does that mean? What is your whole being? Like, you don't learn in your mind, you learn in your whole being? What?
I don't know. It sounds like some weird mystic.
Because I'm curious. I'm like,
stuff.
what is his metaphysics? Like, is he a materialist? Is he a Christian? Like, what is his actual metaphysics? Because in a certain way, you could say that from a Christian perspective, that is actually interesting and deep philosophically. But if he's an atheist, like, he's retarded, right? If you're just a materialist, like, what you're saying is nonsense. So I'm curious. Okay, I want to know what his metaphysics are.
Something. This is the sphere of prudence.
Every sentence is insane. The fear of prudence. What?
This is the sphere of prudence.
Sphere. Okay, sphere, not fear. Sphere. My bad.
It's one of the reasons why I love navigation, because it is all four virtues in action, right? Next up, we have justice, doing justly, giving, saying, doing what is right. You can find 1,000 YouTube videos an hour, I'm sure, Instagram and TikTok, of people that have not lived justly. Not just have done the wrong thing, but have stood back and watched the wrong thing happen over and over and over and over again. And part of the reason that has happened is because they have no fortitude.
Wait, so are we moving on? Are we talking about fortitude now? We're moving on from justice and we're on to fortitude now.
Does this tie into Trench Grenade at some point?
Other than the beginning part where he says he wouldn't invite them over to cut down a tree, I don't think he talks about anyone else. Which yes, no. We're almost a third the way through this. This is beautiful. I love this. This is cringe, right? This is like pure cringe, just injected deep into my not only my mind, but my whole being is understanding this video. Okay, I'm understanding this on a deeper level. I'm understanding this on levels you can't comprehend, in beings that you don't understand. All right.
This reminds me of those shitty like corporate motivational speaker people that companies will pay tens of thousands of dollars to have them come and just spew word salad. That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah. And again, if you want to watch him go get bodied by Matt Pranka, you can go watch me and Richard talk about it for 3 hours or 2.5 hours, which ironically, me and Richard talking about Matt Pranka versus Bill Stoker has 3 times the views of the actual video of Matt Pranka versus Bill Stoker, which I do find funny. Okay. There's more context in it, you know, but I mean, if you want just the main thing, just get the main thing. Okay. It's right
No
there.
humility, John.
Why would I be humble? Okay, it's
you haven't learned that virtue
right?
yet.
It's reality. My stream did better than the original thing. Okay,
you haven't learned that virtue yet. Okay,
he's not. How can I learn it if
Maybe
I
you
haven't?
should-
He hasn't
maybe-
told me yet.
Well,
He
you
hasn't
gotta
come
keep
to
watching.
humility yet. See, this is how boomer you are. You're not even allowing me the time to find humility so I can.
John,
work
when
on
I
it.
was your age, I had
Maybe you
all
should
this
have
figured
prudence.
out.
He just had. Okay.
If you have this ramrod down your spine that doesn't break, it doesn't bend well. It gives you the courage.
Is he just talking about being old?
To do the things that need to be done, to say the things that need to be said. And then you have temperance. You have some charity and some humility about you. Because
there it
sometimes
is.
you need to shut your stinking mouth.
Yeah. John.
Listen,
Shut
okay,
your
I
stinking
understand. I understand that I talk a lot on the internet and I say a lot of stupid stuff, but I also understand that I'm accountable for all of it. And so anyone who has ever had a problem with me has been allowed to come on and talk about it. All right. Or I've met them face to face. All right. Bill, you're welcome to come on because I think it would be a wonderful conversation because I actually want to, like, you know, metaphorically, you know, tear open the top of the skull, peer inside, and then figure out what makes you tick because I think it's wonderful. Okay. I think it's cool. And I just want to like experience that in my whole being. Okay. That's all, you know.
You don't have to always be right for the sake of being right. When we get into this mentality and this way of being, arguing for the sake of arguing, proving points simply to prove a point, all we are doing is living for.
I hate that because, like, yeah, but obviously this is me being young and retarded with the lack of humility and prudence and the other thing that he said. But like, maybe making points isn't a bad thing. You know, maybe having a point isn't a bad thing. Maybe this video having a point isn't necessarily a bad thing either.
Ourselves and a bunch of North and Souths from people that agree with us. There's nothing selfless about it. What does all this have to do with anything? It has to do with the fact.
I was just asking myself the same thing. I know what's on all of your minds right now. What does this have to do with anything? All right. Well, you see, Linda left with the kids, and I don't got a lot left. I don't know.
That are virtues that they don't survive in a bubble. They don't survive in a vial. They exist, they survive, and they thrive when there is friction. If all you're doing is setting back and you're consuming, there's no friction in your life.
That's right. Life is meaningless without struggle.
Yeah.
My struggle.
He's telling you
Your
to jerk
struggle.
off more friction in your life, guys.
Dick, that is not what he meant. My
It might be. He hasn't specified.
You see this guy with his perfectly manicured beard, and he says friction, and you're like, jacking off? What? Who said that?
Hey, man.
If you're not getting out and injuring yourself, hopefully don't injure yourself.
Wait, if you're not getting out there and breaking your leg, you're not
It
doing
looks at his
nothing,
hand.
boy. Listen, boy, if you haven't broken your leg and 2 toes while jacking off, then you ain't really jacking off, boy. Sorry, what?
If you're not getting out and injuring yourself, hopefully don't injure yourself. But you have to get out and you have to do the things. When's the last time that you ever made anything? What's the last physical thing that you have made?
Can I even say it? Oh, that's funny though. I mean, do children count as physical objects? Surely they do. Okay, there's creation involved in this.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jake. What's the last thing that you've made? Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I make stuff at work every day.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You make
That
stuff like all the
counts.
time, bro. I don't like make stuff all the time. I mean, does building rifles count?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe I do stuff all the time then. Like, I mean, does building Legos with my son count?
Yeah,
Obviously, that's like more frivolous and not as important as.
that's
What
more
does
important
Bill do
than
for work
anything,
again?
John. Building Legos with your son is the most important thing
Oh, sure. I think it's more important.
because you're
But I
building
mean,
a
like,
you're building a bond.
you know, nobody's gonna remember me when I'm gone though, or maybe because I built the Legos. Now they will.
Your son's gonna be next to you on your deathbed and say, "Father, no one will remember you, especially not me." And then put the
That would
pillow
be
over
very
your
funny.
face.
Bruce would be like, because he talks like really funny. He's 6 now. Just turned 6 on like Monday last week. He'd be like, Dad, no one's gonna remember you because everything he says it so mischievously, and he would say it exactly like that, and it would be very funny.
Not put together, but
God is the only one that has created.
True.
Well, that depends. All right. What do you mean by creation? Okay. Do you mean ex nihilo, out of nothing? Then yes. Right. But that is usually not what is colloquially referred to as creation. And God did give the ability to create to his creations, right? It's the same thing that he allows us to be secondary actors upon the universe, therefore giving us free will within his sovereignty. Right.
created.
You're not a Calvinist, are you, Jake?
I am a Calvinist, John.
What are your
Why?
thoughts on free will here, bud?
I do believe in free will. Free will is a thing.
But everything was predetermined, but free will, right?
It's just a little bit more complicated than the black and white thing that you're saying.
See, it's not just the knowledge that the wisdom that we're substituting knowledge for. It's this whole creative element and aspect. That there's something that's not tangible in the benefit of creating, taking some lumber and making something, taking a shovel, digging something, using some equipment, cutting something down, ingenuity. You will discover things.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like there's something that is, I don't know, provocative about working with your hands and building something, right? Of course, I think it's good for the soul in the same way I think like physical activity is good for the soul. Like being around loved ones is good for the soul. I think that there's a very holistic approach to life that you have. You don't need to be some, solo hermit in the mountains of Appalachia, okay, to have a true fulfilled existence because you live in nature all day, right? Maybe for some people that works, but I don't think that can realistically be applied to everyone. But I think there's good aspects to working with your hands, the act of labor, the act of creation. Like all this stuff is good generally. But can we tie this back to the original point that modern men have like no consequence, specifically with risky, brass facts, and French grenade? Like that would be more entertaining, at least.
When you start to create, you need friction in your life. You can't just talk about strength. You have to go do the things that create strength. Whether it's physical, you know this, right? If you want to get strong, you got to go to the gym and move some weights, right?
Yep, that's how that works.
There's friction in this. There's friction in work and laboring and being worn out and sweating.
Get sweaty with the boys. 2026. That's the way to get purposefulness
you
in your life.
Gotta have some friction.
Get some friction with the
sweat on ya.
boys. Oh yeah, me and the boys getting all frictioned up. Oh yeah.
I just need to take a break because you're freaking tired. Well, that's just one aspect. That's just one element.
Frickin' kids. Frickin' kids these days. Gosh darn it. Oh heck. Dagnabbit.
Of where we need strength. You need spiritual strength. And the only way to get that is in friction.
What? What?
What does that
See,
mean?
I'm so confused now. I'm like, what type of? I think he's Christian. What type of Christian are you? What do
That
you
doesn't
mean?
sound like a very Christian statement.
I mean, do you? If it depends how you frame it. Like, if you say like, prayer is the most important tool, and prayer can sometimes be difficult to do perfectly. So maybe you could say like can be some struggle against the flesh, like some friction in prayer, or
I mean, if we're just gonna
in
pretend
your daily
like
life.
if we're just gonna pretend like words can just be interchanged and they don't have specific meanings, then I guess you could just use the word
Well,
friction
words aren't universals is the
as a
problem, right?
catch-all
with
term.
language. No, sure,
Yeah.
but words aren't universal. That's the problem
Mhm.
with language. As Aristotle says, words are good enough to approximate meaning, but they don't actually they aren't universals, right? If you say good and I say good, it means very different things.
Yeah.
But again, there is a level there where I'm not saying the words have no meaning, whereas this gentleman is word salading, where all of the words blend together to be some sort of meaningless, gelatinous blob of, sound waves. Friction in the air, if you will.
It's when your ideas, it's when the knowledge, the things that you have in your head are tested. You can't just say that you are about it. You have to be about it.
Right? Yep. I think there's like a 2-minute good video in here. It just happens to be 21 minutes long. Right? Because if you listen, guys, the thoughts in your head, they're good and all. It's important to have it. It's important to have the knowledge. But until it meets some sort of application, it's not actually causing any effect in the real world, right? We want to be men of consequence who have effect in the real world. Therefore, let our actions speak of the knowledge we've acquired, right? What was that, 30 seconds?
Yeah, I think it's funny that that's his message, and the very existence of this 21-minute long video, I feel like goes against a lot of his main points that he's trying to make.
Well, no, you see, it's funny because we're consuming this rather than creating, right? Because us kids on the interwebs on YouTube just want to have everything handed to us. We just want to consume and not put anything out there. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, James is gay. Speaking of Calvinists,
you have to do the things. And when you do the things, you're going to actually learn the things with your whole being.
Whatever that
That's what
means.
you were made for.
Okay, so implying telos to our creation. All right. He's got to be a Christian of some sort, right? 100%.
He might just be one of
if you're a
those guys
materialist,
that's
there is no telos.
He might be one of those guys that's like, Jesus has really good teachings, but I don't think there's any one way, Could be one of those guys. Maybe he had an ayahuasca journey.
He makes more sense than Danger Zone. Well, I mean, again, I think there is a point in here somewhere, but we're having to do this is the whole mind game, right? Is he's forcing us to claw through the malaise and the web, right, of words to peel away meaning. So in that way, we are struggling. We are applying the friction to find the meaning, right? It's not just knowledge that's acquired up here, but in our whole being by fighting through this video. True.
There has to be consequence in your life. There has to be some stakes. Like, if I don't get this done, something is not going to work.
Outside of a couple of neats, who doesn't have that level of consequence in their life? Maybe if you're a rich kid or a black person, but who else doesn't have that level of consequence in their life, right? Spoiler alert, if I don't do all the things that I usually do, I don't have a house for my kids or food for my kids. So, I mean, there's pretty obvious consequences. And I imagine, again, most people outside of a few neats and ethnics also have very drastic daily requirements, okay, to exist, right?
When's the last time you experienced that? I had a friend, a good pal, compadre of mine, checked on him the other day, and he sent me a photo, and it was of his water main coming from his well. It was leaking right outside the house. I was like, man, if it's not one thing, it's another. And
Dude, doesn't this feel like a non-denom pastor, right? How you have like all of this like word salad backed up with like almost nothing, and then some analogy or story about a friend that's like perhaps minorly humorous, you know? And then it wraps up like, so go out there and do good this week. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, that was the one.
And he's like, yeah. I asked him if he needed a hand, and he said he wouldn't turn it down. And so stopped by to see him as I was moving about, and went to go grab him a couple parts. And next thing I knew, he said I had to get back and doing some actual JOB stuff. And he sends me a message saying that he cut some power to the well, and some other pipes that are in the ground got busted up, and it was just turning into a bad day, right? Turning into a bad day. So I went stopped by his house after work, and we worked, because the stakes were high, right? If it didn't get finished, he wasn't going to have water in his house. If he didn't get finished, he wasn't going to be able to flush the toilet in the house, right? Things were breaking. So we worked, man. We pulled wire and cable and some black pipe and all kinds of stuff, right? He'd already had most of it done, all the prep work. So we just had to get it done. The stakes were high. The things had to get done. Had to get done now, because there was consequence of not acting, right? The stakes.
I'm actually confused, because I think this guy's been in firefights, that he didn't pull out a more interesting or dynamic example. Right? So I'm pretty sure this guy's like been in combat, has a CIB. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm misremembering his conversation with Matt Pranka, but like,
I don't think he was ever in combat.
that makes his conversation with Pranka even worse. That's so funny.
Because of the unit he was with, he did training for CQB, but he never actually did it.
Never mind then. Oh,
so I don't think he ever said he went to combat.
But that makes his interaction with Matt Pranka even funnier in retrospect.
My point would be that maybe if you don't fix the well and you can't flush the toilet, that maybe that's the amount of friction that you need in your life.
True. Maybe you need to endure a little hardship. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe things don't get fixed right away, kids. See, that's the thing. You could just take this exact same story and have a totally different takeaway. Like, yeah, kids, sometimes you need to struggle. You need to endure hardship over a long period of time. Sometimes with relationships, just like my pipes, they don't get fixed right away. All right. Sometimes, just like the Bible says, there's a time of drought. All right. And you got to pray to the Lord for rain, and he'll send the rain. Right.
And the cards were on the table. When's the last time you've been in this kind of encounter or experience where it had to get done? And I'm not talking about the job, the deadline. We just had to make it to the deadline. Maybe that is.
Why would a deadline for a job be any less important? Like, if your livelihood is at stake, why would that be any less important than I can't flush my toilet? Because to me, like, oh, I cannot flush my toilet today is an insanely minor inconvenience in the grand scheme of things, right? Me, like, losing my source of income, much harder to replace, right? You know, it's like, you ever been camping for a couple of days? Not a big deal. You can get it done. And you know what's wonderful about little kids? They don't care. They have a wonderful time doing whatever. And especially if they're young, they're not even going to remember it. They might whine and cry a little bit, but whatever. That's what the mom is for, okay? I got to fix the problem. She has to do the actual work, okay? Simple enough.
Where your consequence begins and ends. But I would submit to you that it needs more than to be somebody else's consequence like that. It needs to be your consequence. It needs to be your stakes. There's value in having stakes at work that need to be done. So don't misunderstand me there. There's value in your profession.
Yep.
Whether it is your occupation, whether it is your company, there's value in seeing things through and taking ownership, even when you don't own it. The world.
Yeah, what's that? Is that Jocko's extreme accountability, right? Doesn't matter if it was your fault or not. Take accountability for it.
Yeah, it's extreme ownership. Yeah.
I take ownership of the Holocaust. No, wait. I mean, sorry. It wasn't my fault.
I would have done a better job, honestly.
I take
no,
extreme accountability for all those Germans and all the Jews.
yeah,
It was me.
I would have been a better leader than Adolf Hitler.
There you
No,
go.
but
Take extreme accountability. Yep. It was my fault Hitler
so
failed. Hitler, I'm sorry I
here's my
failed you.
question. Here's my question. Is he insinuating that he knows the private life of all these people that he included on the thumbnail and knows that they don't do these things and have friction?
I think it's just wild to point out like Brass and Risky on there because Risky has just verifiably done hard things in his life. And Brass Facts is like a preparedness YouTube channel where he like goes and camps out in the woods and does, wacky things to test gear and whatnot. I mean, it's like, it's not the hardest life in the world, but I mean, it's something of value to people around him. I don't know.
Demands it, right? Your family demands it. They deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Your wife needs a good husband.
Does your wife need a good husband? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sure you're a great husband. You're just talking too much. Okay, that's all.
Your son and your daughter need a father who is present. Your church needs an active voice in negotiating the waves of life and how faith interacts our community.
I mean, word salady nonsense, but sure, like being an active part of your community and your church, yeah.
Somebody in your area needs help. They need to see and experience.
Yeah, see, this is what no editing does to a muffa, right? People are like, listen, I'm very professional because I don't edit my videos and everything's a one take. It's like, buddy, not everything can be a one take. All right? Not everybody got those chops. Some people can do it. All right? But editing, scripting, notes are there for a reason to help you. They are tools. They are not crutches. They're tools to be used. All right? It's like just doing a rambly 1 hour one take doesn't magically make it better than a 3-minute edited, punchy, straight to the point video. It's important to use our time, but not going 24 hours without flushing a toilet? You're crazy, dude.
Because they have lost hope and they feel helpless. There's a person in your world that needs you to take action. Because if you don't,
Hitler needs you, Jake. Hitler needs you to take action.
What am I going to do?
He needs me.
Needs me. I'm Hitler's top guy. What am I going to do?
Again,
will break.
The implication of this is that he's basically calling out people that he doesn't know and insinuating that he knows how their life is. He knows what they do in their free time. He's basing his understanding of people on the videos that they post on YouTube.
Yeah, but it's weird to call out like the GunTube space because what's the title? GunTube is dead. Because he hasn't actually talked about GunTube at all. It would make more sense if he put like, I don't know, like Taylor Swift or like a bunch of other like meaningless celebrities on there. And like, these people are of no consequence. We need to strive to not be like them. We need to strive to actually do hard things, unlike these people. But like even Trench Grenade, I have a couple of critiques. Okay. But he does, he yells at other dudes for a living, right? No, he's a drill instructor. I don't know what that looks like or how that works, but he does things.
Trench Grenade's a bad example.
No, I'm saying you can find positive aspects of Trench Grenade for sure.
Can you?
If you look, okay, I'm trying to look for the good in people, Jake. I'm turning over a new leaf, okay?
Can you?
And is he really though?
And it may not be overly evident, like the world is going to fall apart. But in that person, in that moment, something will either be made and remembered and walked out and recalled and passed on to somebody else, or it will be broken. See, too many times I think we feel that our lives need such consequence, and the only way to have that is to be the Elon Musks of the...
You literally just told us that we needed consequence. And now you're saying, but don't worry about having too much consequence, okay? You got to ride that line, okay? Don't be inconsequential, but don't be too consequential. You got to ride that line of being mediocrely consequential. I'm getting mixed signals here, dude. All right.
World. Nothing could be further from the truth. You don't have to have $1 million impact. What you need to understand is your life has value and meaning, and there is impact in what you do.
See, now he's doing the good cop, bad cop thing. He's like, you guys suck. No consequence. No meaning. No deals. And then he's like, but don't ever forget, it doesn't matter how little impact you have on the world. You have value. You have meaning. You belong. And girl, you need to speak your truth. And you need to live your life. Because it's about you, girl. We just switched up on me. Gosh dang it.
See, it's not that you've lost consequence. You have consequence. It's that you've made it to be nothing. And the truth is,
the big reveal.
that apparent lack of consequence, there is consequence to that. Because those in need.
Wait, so not having consequence is actually a consequence. All right, I might actually just kill myself right now.
This is
Let's
pure,
go, dude. This was actually worth it.
This is pure unadulterated nigger babble.
It's something, dude. This is wonderful. I love this.
Are going without. And that has consequence.
Yep.
Poor leadership has consequence.
No, stop it. You're making it worse. So you want to have consequence in your life? Be a poor leader, because poor leadership has consequence. Is consequence good or bad? Please. Please tell me now. Oh my gosh.
Inactive leadership has consequence. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what your sphere of influence is. If it's just yourself, it freaking matters. If it's you and one person.
Listen here, you freaking bad guy. I love it. Okay, I love it. I try not to cuss too much, okay? But it is so apparent when you have like the tatted up 50-year-old man being like, listen up here, you little frick. Gosh dang it to heck. I'm gonna beat you what's some other funny ones that people use? You
Shucks.
cotton picking. I don't know.
Cotton picking.
If it's just yourself, it freaking matters. If it's you and one person, it matters. So live out your virtues, incarnate them.
Incarnate? What?
Live out your faith.
That's right. In what? In what?
In
My
yourself,
faith in what?
John. Your faith in yourself. Believe in yourself.
Risky says, I was initially annoyed of the implication he made of me and the thumbnail, but this video is utterly retarded and incoherent. I have no reason to ever pay this guy any mind for the rest of my life. Literally, dude. I don't know what his thoughts are on anyone or anything. In fact, my implications of him are now less clear than they were at the beginning of this video, right? I understand him considerably less now.
Walk with some hope. And flesh out your love for God and love for one another.
Oh, that's why he had to fix the toilets, so he could flesh out the love of God. Is that what he said?
Live out your faith. Walk with some hope.
Right.
And flesh out your love for God and love for one another.
Yep. Yeah, that's why he had to fix the toilets.
This
guys.
is what matters.
What?
Living your virtues. Tim, I'm not here to call these gun tubers out. I'm here to call you out.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Oh gosh, 1:20 in the video, and he's finally back to gun tubers. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I love that so much. Look at how serious he got for a second. Oh no, 1:20 left in the video. Please.
He's knife handing. That's how
What?
you know he's serious.
Yeah, listen here, bucko. That's about how rude he gets. Listen here, bucko.
I'm here to give me a wake-up call. We all need it. Stop living like your life doesn't matter, because it does. Team, I appreciate you guys. Leave some comments down below about an area maybe where you had consequence and took action. Maybe where your life had some consequence and you refused to take action.
Comment down below what you think about
that.
actions and consequences. That's crazy, guys. You guys should comment down below about actions and consequences. That's so cool. Anyways, really, your life has purpose. Anyways, comment down below.
because it's in the
Hop says his life doesn't matter. No, it
That's
matters to
true.
me. It matters. Shut
True.
up, Jake. Shut up, Jake. It matters to me. Okay. But even if your life didn't have meaning, Hop, it would have meaning in how meaningless it is.
You are so inconsequential, Hop, that the consequences of that will be with you forever, bro.
No, he pinned this. This is great. Have any of you ever had a 21-minute experience stuck in a room with someone who is under the influence of alcohol and LSD? I have, and it was nearly identical to how I feel after watching this video. No clue what the hell is going on in this word salad of a video. Sorry, man. That is amazing. Thank you, Wildcat Comms. That is great.
Shit.
Yeah, 21-minute video saying nothing from Foulmouth Actual. Appreciate that. A Rolling Stone gathers no moss. Literally worthless without context. Like utterly meaningless. I guess that means something to that guy. Risky the Goat. Yep, there we go. Why do I feel like I just left church? Great sermon. Go to a new church, buddy. That one's not working out. You got soft hands, Sonny. True. Much needed in this space, indeed. What? Delectable dysentery. Yeah, you do need to flush the toilets in this space, don't
What
we?
exactly?
All right.
What exactly was needed in that?
I don't know. The guy's got dysentery. Talking about a YouTube addiction while making a YouTube video. Curious, isn't it? Now, I actually don't think that's a problem, right? Because I could talk about like the negative effects of like alcohol while drinking a beer, right?
Of course, you don't think it's a problem.
Like, I don't drink, but you could do that to like prove a point or something like that, right? That's not actually a problem. You could talk about the dangers of driving, right? While driving a car. That's not actually a bad thing because you're using it to explain a point, right? Window lick. Yeah, there he is. Remind me again why I subscribe to this channel. To hear you prattle on in front of a black screen like some wise old sage when you are not was not the reason. Yep. Yeah, let's see. Overthinking for sure. The people who yeah, that's true. The people who think this is a good video, like, what did you get out of it? All right, guys in the chat, if we got some Stoker Strokers in the chat, what did you get out of this video? I'm very curious. All right. You love the Stoker, all right? You love to stroke the Stoke. What did you get out of it?
Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments where
what you think about that video in the comments down below.
Let me know about some times where you experienced some friction with hard men.
Yeah, lots of friction. Anyways, ironically, the most famous thing he will be remembered for is getting BTFO'd by Matt Franco.
John, we don't have to do rage bait after that, do we?
Rage bait? What are you talking about?
Like, that was enough.
No, we got so much funny stuff to talk about, though, Jake. We got to get to your girlfriend at least, okay?
My girlfriend?
Your girlfriend. Yes, I told you at the beginning of this stream, we're going to find you a girlfriend. But first, we have a video of all time, okay? So the CHP over here, we're like, you know what? We see the hype edits. We see the TikToks. We know what the kids are doing. And we can do the same thing, buddy. So the CHP Central Division, armed felon arrested, cache of weapons seized, okay? And just take a gander at, if you will, at the editing and music choice on display here for this weapons cache that was stolen.
Oh, shit.
What retard thought that was a good idea? Who gave their like 12-year-old kid with Asperger's He editing. Thank you, Jake. Who did that? Look at that though. It's like the cuts, the zoom ins, the zoom outs to like a still image. It's so beautiful. Okay, the sound and fury signifying nothing. Also, the guy has a Gatling gun. It's like, okay, that's cool or whatever.
That wasn't a Gatling.
Whatever, dude. I don't care, dude.
I think it was like a Maxim or something.
Hey, shut up.
Some water cooled something or other.
Hey, shut up.
Hey, you're wrong. It's fine, John. I just
we just talked about in this video how people just want to make points to make points, to prove a point, you know? So stop proving a point to prove a point and just let me be right, even though I'm wrong.
well, you know what, John? I think
That's
that was
so
a really
feminine coded,
badass.
isn't it?
I think that was a badass video. All right.
Yeah, so let me make my point and stop trying to prove a point to prove a point, bro.
You need more friction in your life.
I love that filter on top too with like little like light rays, light reflections. Yeah, look at that. And then it's just like 20 seconds of the California Highway Patrol logo just flashing in and out.
I
All
think
right.
that's badass.
Kind of cool. That's very funny. I thought this was America. Anyways, let's get to your girlfriend, okay? Listen, we've all talked about it. Tomboys. There's been a tomboy genocide, a silent genocide of all the tomboys since the trannies came to town, okay? And it's a travesty because tomboys are Jake's personal favorite, okay? Tomboys and horse girls. That's what Jake likes.
You're thinking of Logan.
No.
Yeah.
Thinking of you. I think
No.
about you all the time, Jake.
You're
And I
you're-
know that you like tomboys and horse girls. All
you're
right.
thinking of Logan.
Anyways,
But continue.
this is from Arrest Hub. Body cam footage captured an arrest attempt involving a woman who was reportedly accused of stealing 2 cases of beer before officers located her and attempted to take her into custody. What initially appeared to be a routine theft-related arrest quickly evolved into one of the most bizarre and unintentionally hilarious police encounters caught on camera. And I'm telling you, okay, this is girlfriend material here. She is very, very fixable. Very fixable. Okay.
Get on your back! Get on the ground!
Nope.
I will tase you.
Nope,
Get on the ground!
I'll get you a knee.
Both.
Tase me, please.
Why do you want me to tase you?
I got freaky
All right, taser. HQ, taser. Hey!
Take it back. Woo, woo.
Get on the ground! Get on your back! Put your hands behind your back.
You gotta get with Mike.
Put your hands behind your back now. Both of them.
I've been looking for you.
You don't even know who I am.
She's just like winking at the cops while like, is one good enough? Tase me. I like that freaky stuff. I don't know,
if
Jake.
that's a
She
horse
seems like
girl.
girlfriend material to me. Okay.
I don't know if that's a tomboy. I don't think it's a horse girl. That is a that looks like someone who's been on hard drugs for a while. Ah.
Should. Any shoulds in the chat? Okay, we got Woods and Coulds. Will, there we
I
go.
see a
Right
Will.
spirit, Gene. There you go. Let's go. There you go. She's the opposite
Guys.
of don't tase me, bro. True. Skinny white female versus fat black pregnant woman. It's like one's don't tase me. I am a pregnant woman. The other one tase me, bro. I like that stuff. I don't like to be tased.
Pregnant woman, taser.
I love that video.
Get on your back! Get on the ground!
Nope.
I will tase you.
Nope, I'm
Get on the ground!
I'll get you a knee.
Both.
Tase me, please.
Why do you want me to tase
I
you?
got freaky
All right, taser.
Woo.
HQ, taser. Hey!
Take it back. Woo, woo.
Get on the ground! Get on your back! Put your hands behind your back.
You gotta get with Mike.
Put your hands behind your back now. Both of them.
Isn't that perfect, Jake? She's asking for it, okay? She basically wants you right now. Girlfriend material. Take her home to mom. I'm sure it'll be a great conversation.
No thanks.
No? Ah, damn it. Everybody in the chat's like, yeah. Yeah. the Ric Flair woo. Let's go.
I'm
Okay,
really
let's see.
happy for chat that they feel so compelled. I don't know, man.
You don't know. Well, okay, we have another interaction at a gas station, okay? This one has a slightly worse ending. Still funny, okay? Like, Not like funny, but it's a little funny. Okay, so we have another cop at another gas station tasing another man. And something about tasing at gas stations not being a great idea because there's a lot of flammable material at gas stations. This might come as a shock to some of you, but there is indeed fuel at gas stations. So here we go.
Guy just got tased.
And yeah, the fire erupts on, whatever gas spills on the ground there. The guy's rolling around, can't really move because he's being actively tased in a ball of flames. Very funny.
Fire! Fire at the gas station.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Wait, dude, I got burned all over. I know. Dude, it's hot.
Oh, shit.
You're a fucking dick.
It's on fire! You guys need to move back!
He's staying right next to the fire. Excuse me. That is right outside of his gas tank. And then he's like rolling him towards it. Like, what are you trying to do, officer? Like, he knows that he messed up, right? 100%. This is now going to be an incident. You've now accidentally lit a perp on fire. All right. Not intentional. The guy might have even been asking for it. Okay. Guy might be a total dick, right? Don't have to feel bad for the guy with the truck. But after you light him on fire, after you put him back on the ground next to the fire and then roll him towards the burning vehicle, right? We're escalating like the lawsuit, right? The injury lawyer is just like salivating right now. Just like Jake over that previous tomboy. Okay. That lawyer is salivating right now watching this video. Like, this is perfect. Could not be better.
Guy just got...
because he hits the gas thing on the way down too. Probably knocks it out, and that's where all the gas spills. And so because his body is currently being electrocuted, immediately lights it all on fire, which could have been way worse, to be fair. Like, you knocked an active pump out of a tank. That could have been a lot worse for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Do a burnout. Lol. Aww.
Tased. Fire! Fire at the gas station.
I love the woman's commentary. It's very necessary.
Well, I mean, listen, what would you say to this?
I don't know. I'd probably just say, oh, shit. I say,
All right.
oh, shit.
Jake, you never know what's coming next on the show, okay? Because we don't really have rage bait so much as this is like funny bait, okay? All right, this is funny bait.
You're joy baiting me?
I'm joy baiting you. But you never know what's coming next. But this guy has some takes. Okay, I love it. This guy is a legit. This guy has a black Hebrew Israelite. We was real Jews and shit. Okay, all right. Don't worry about it, guys. This is funny. But he had I didn't know that we did this. All right, Jake. I actually feel appalled that my ancestors did this to this man, his wife, his children. I didn't know that we did this. Okay, because I'm a son of slave owners. Not proud. Okay, I'm not proud of the fact that I own like so many slaves. All right, it's crazy that my ancestors did that. Anyways, but some of the other shenanigans that we allegedly got into, or on top of, or inside of, while we were slave owners, of course, crazy work.
White man used to rape the black man. He used to wait till his motherfucking wife go to sleep and go rape the slave. He'll rape the man, rape the woman, rape the daughter, and rape the little boy. That white man a cold mother. The white man used to rape the black man. He used to wait till his motherfucking wife go to sleep and go rape the slave. He'll rape the man, rape the woman, rape the daughter, and rape the little.
And yeah, I did not add the smoke alarm. The smoke alarm sound was his own. 50 Ranger says, "We still doing this, Unc, you're next." Oh, damn. Bro is bricked up telling us his fantasy.
I do love
Unc reminiscing of the old days. Dude, there was a comment. It must have gotten deleted. But it was like we was flashlights and shit. Bro has nostalgia. Tel Aviv impressed. Truk. Used to, still does. We was pocket pussy. Of all of the things to believe about your ancestors, it's like we were kings, we built the pyramids, we were the Vikings, we were the knights. That's why they were called knights, because they were dark, okay, in Europe. That's why they call them the Dark Ages, because they were the kings of Europe, of course. But pretending to be a pocket pussy for your slave owner is just weird, right? It's like, I don't know about that one, cuh. I'm gonna be real with you on that one, cuh. We don't talk about that one. Nope. No, thank you.
Hey, since they're claiming all this stuff that has to do with being black and dark, what about the Black Plague? Have they claimed that
that's
one
a
yet?
modern thing, Jake. You just look in downtown Chicago, you can find great examples of the Black Plague. Anyway, so this guy, talking about being raped, of course, as one does, but he's got another thing on his mind. All right, this unk, so to speak, he got some stuff on his mind.
This case, why I had to blow a nigga. The difference between me and you, have you ever blew a nigga? Have you ever killed a nigga? Have you ever had to lay a nigga down when a motherfucker shot at you, he missed, and then you got to aim, and it was over? See, I had a self-defense case where I had to blow a nigga.
Self-defense rape, yes. I've seen many such cases of these online. The self-defense rape, very famous.
I hate this.
Why do you hate it, Jake? It's funny, Jake. Relax, okay? Have some fun. Listen,
I'm not having fun.
You never had to blow one?
Is this the friction that I need to go through to develop virtues?
You never had to blow one, even in self-defense, bro? Not even.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Not
Apologies.
even once.
Not once. Not even once, Your Honor. I've never blown him in self-defense. Your Honor, I don't think I can use the N-word here, but I have not blown any N-words in self-defense lately, all right? Not lately, sir. But we was-ery. All right. Now here's one. Now, you might be looking at this and thinking that these are 9 pictures. I don't know. One of those time-lapse videos where people take videos of themselves or pictures of themselves every day, and you got to see their growth over a 10-year period. Black people have the same version. They just use mugshot photos. It's way less efficient, though, which is really my biggest problem, is that they get the police officers to take their photos rather than just taking them themselves. It's like they do these petty little crimes, right? Just to get checked into jail to get an updated mugshot, right, for their time lapse. It's crazy to me. It's crazy that we allow them to do this. Maybe this is what Bill Stoker was talking about. He was talking about freeloading. You want things given to them. It's like, take your own damn photo. Why are you making the police take your photo every day? Crazy.
Courtroom today, a murder suspect refused to appear before a judge after investigators say he was released from jail just 90 minutes before a deadly double shooting. Now WBTV.
That's pretty quick.
Murder suspect refuses to show up in front of a judge. All right, first off, how does a murder suspect refuse anything? Because surely he's in jail. I mean, he's a murder suspect, right?
I don't know.
Right? Of course.
I mean, not necessarily. Suspects aren't always imprisoned.
But I mean, if the bond is $1 million, that kind of keeps most people behind bars.
Well,
right?
I mean,
surely a judge wouldn't give someone I don't know, 20 grand in bond or something. That'd be crazy if they did that.
I mean, you could be a suspect right now, John, in a lynching.
I am a suspect in a murder, right?
And that doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to be in prison. That just means that they're looking into you. They're suspecting that you might have done this. I suppose. But
no, if you're a suspect and you're ordered to appear in front of a judge, surely you've been charged or you have a court date, right? It's not an optional thing.
No, I don't. I mean, they didn't make it sound like that.
I don't know, maybe.
Sounds like they were holding him for questioning, and then they didn't have they couldn't hold him any longer, and then they had to let him go.
Actually, well, I don't know. Mr. Gunziger here on the side says convicted murderer David Simpson is let out of jail. So he says convicted murderer, which adds another layer to this. So maybe one of these mugshots is a murder mugshot, and then he
Is
just
he
got
convicted
released.
after he got released and killed people? Or was he convicted before?
Well, so convicted murderer David Simpson is let out of jail, and within 90 minutes, he shot a person. You didn't misread that. Within 90 minutes. Let's listen to the full thing. Fine.
TV is digging deeper into this man, David Simpson's past.
Have you ever digged deeper into me?
And found he's been arrested at least 10 times. Our Michael Warwick is live outside the Mecklenburg County Courthouse. Michael, what are you learning about this guy's criminal history?
Well, it is that criminal history that's in the spotlight tonight, including Simpson pleading guilty to a deadly shooting back in 2013. That crime he did.
So he is a former murderer. That's crazy, dude. That's nuts. See, I just need to like select people, right? And just be like, 10 years for killing that guy. Is that worth it? Like, can I just do that? Can I trade? You know, it's like a trade. I'm going to kill that guy. Okay. It's going to be premeditated, but I'll take the plea deal, be out in 10 years. Can I do that? Is that chill?
I don't think so.
No? Damn it. Damn it.
Did several years in prison for. It's something that WBTV covered when it happened. But since being released for that crime back in 2020, court record
7 years for murder. Oh, dude. I could murder like 12 more people in my lifetime. Well, not 12. Well, I could go to like 8. I could murder 8 more people in my life. 7 years apiece, you know? It's like, is that worth it? Whoa. Jump down. Gross. What is Mr. Guns and Gear posting? No, this is Mr. Guns and Gear. I have I'm not following his stuff. Whatever. Okay. I don't know what those are. I hope they're funny. Anyways, I can kill like 6 more people. Maybe 7. Maybe 8. Is that cool? Do you think the legal system would allow me to get away with that?
Maybe. No.
What if I painted myself black?
Yeah, I was
and,
gonna
like,
say
gave
shoe
myself a
polish.
tarantula wig.
If you had some shoe polish, that might work out for you, but I don't know. I mean, you
listen,
don't know
can
until
be
you
my-
try.
You can be my eubonics instructor, okay? Because you're quite good
Oh
at it.
shit! It's only 300. Damn.
records show he's been charged several more times with felony gun possession and other gun-related crimes.
That's after a murder, by the way. It is insane to think that you can do the murder, right? You can do that whole like murder thingamajig and then do a bunch of other crimes after getting out. And eventually we don't just like put you down like a dog, you know, or like throw away the key, or at least, right? You can just like keep doing the thing over and over again.
Hours before Wednesday's murder, Simpson bonded out of jail on charges he had a shank on him during a previous jail sentence. It's the multitude of past crimes that has a former councilman, Tariq Bakari, questioning why Simpson was free.
We know what these top 1% of repeat offenders are going.
What do these 1% of top offenders have in common? Mr. Tariq Bakari. I hate top offenders. Don't you, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to do, and for some reason we just don't have the appetite to take action.
A judge denied Simpson bond after forcing him to appear in court hours after he was initially scheduled. Simpson faces a first-degree murder charge and an attempted murder charge.
Chaos inside a Charlotte courtroom today. A murder suspect refused to appear before a judge.
See, that's 2 murders. So this guy's doing my plan. He's stealing my whole flow.
So I'm still deeply confused about the timeline on this.
No, he committed a murder in 2013.
Yeah.
Pled guilty. Got out in 2020. Committed a host of other crimes. 9 in that 5-year period. Right? He's currently was ordered to come in front of a judge because he had a shank on him during his last jail stint, which I believe is a crime, right? And then after he gets out of that hearing, he immediately, after he bonds out of that because he was going to go back to jail, of course, he then murders somebody 90 minutes. So 1 murder, 1 attempted murder, 90 minutes after getting bonded out.
Huh.
Yes, and Doc has a good point. Got caught 9 times.
Well,
and
yeah.
to be clear, it probably wasn't 1 crime per jail stint. It was probably a litany of crimes per jail stint. So 9 arrests, 20 crimes, 30 crimes, 40 crimes, right? Who knows? He had to what in front of the judge? Phrasing. Sometimes, sometimes you just gotta go in front of a judge. Now, maybe like judges are just like women or something. Maybe they see like a dramatic outburst from some of these things and they're like, you know what, Law and Order, you're right. Let's get rid of that thing because they freak out sometimes. So Chattanooga says a Hamilton County jury sentenced Jamal Adams, who was removed from the proceedings after dramatic reaction to his murder conviction, to life in prison without the possibility of release last week. Well, at least that's based. And of course, his mother is in the courtroom saying, no, leave my boy alone. He didn't do nothing. But at least this is like, yeah, you murdered someone. If the death penalty is not on the table, life without parole is a secondary option, I suppose. It's much more expensive to me, but, at least you're not getting out in 7 years, dog. Is this that self-defense? You never raped in self-defense before? I have.
This is white man raping the men.
That's true. White man used to rape the black man.
Minutes before, Jamal Adams repeatedly slammed his fist on the defense table and flipped it over.
This guy have Down syndrome?
Found him guilty.
What's that?
Does this guy have Down syndrome?
No, it nicked him. He doesn't have it. He's Downs adjacent, right? He doesn't have Downs. Just like, kind of.
There was a little bit of
first-degree murder
floating around in the womb.
Maybe it was like 2 retards and then one fetus ate the other. And so now he's like almost normal, right? He absorbed the power of 2 retards.
I'm Mason Edwards, and I cover courts for the Chattanooga Times-Free Press. At trial, prosecutors accused Adams of fatally shooting a father.
Dude, that is the blackest Chinese man I've ever seen. Right?
Yeah.
I do kill a honor man. Nigga, your honor? I mean, she do.
Father of 6, Matthew Overby, 9 times in the driver's seat of a truck off Rossville Boulevard. The reason? To impede pending prosecution against Adams in another case. Jury deliberations took over 2 days on Adams' charges, including murder and witness coercion. Adams' defense lawyers are consulting with.
Yeah, I love the tough, delineation, right? I love the contrast between the tough AF, goes hard mugshots, and then like when they actually get convicted of the crime, right? Instantly crying, pleading, flailing about on the ground, screaming for mama. Man, that toughness goes away so fast. It's tragic.
Him about a possible appeal. Hamilton County District Attorney Cody Womp said on Facebook the table flipping was a tantrum, and she hoped the proceedings brought Overby's family some closure. Proceedings continued without Adams after the outburst, and jurors sentenced him to life without the possibility of parole. He now faces multiple new charges, including but not limited to disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and escape. See my full reporting at timesfreepress.com.
He's sitting down now.
Dude, I want to see him flip the table and like that famous video of that guy jumping at the judge. That's still one of my favorite videos. The judge is running and the guy just launches in from nowhere. Unbelievable. Damn. Yeah. Okay. Serious question here, guys. Do we even care if they get additional charges after they get life with no parole? Like, do we even waste the time of like attempting to flee, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, contempt of court? Like, do we even care? Right?
I don't know. It seems like every time they get these like crazy charges, like 460 years, no parole, blah, blah, blah. And then there's always like, oh, but he had he was in good standing and he had a retrial and then he got out after 20 years. That always happens. So I don't know what it takes. I think they just have to kill these people is what it really comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that once we've convicted them of murder and we're not even giving them a chance at parole, I think it's Sorry, bro. It's a one-way ticket. Although Rat has a funny comment. This is what you would look like if you were black and Chinese. Yeah, that's a good account. All right. Well, here's another one. We're getting into a little more rage baity. It's not quite as funny. All right, but this is just like the UK. All right. This is Foyd police officers. UK Foyd police officers. Honestly, brown UK Foyd police officers. Okay. It's the whole trifecta of things that I detest. Okay. British people, gross. Women, double gross. Ethnics, oh my gosh, right? About to throw up. I said that. But we have a young British man here on the right, as you can tell. Not listening, I guess you could say. You know, he was kind of intimidating the officer, and she's just backing up, pleading the whole time.
British man?
Hurry up!
And again, so he's threatening to kill her. I'm going to F you up. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to do all this. And the woman is just nothing she can do. She has like the handcuffs in her hands, which would be just as effective as if she handcuffed herself and jumped into the pond. Just like, nah, it's over. It would have been just as effective. Okay. You're not going to do a thing with those handcuffs, little lady, until other male police officers come up to rescue you from the animal who is going to kill you if nobody intervenes, right? And neither can barely speak English. That's true.
I'll show you mine. One of my kids got there.
Look how panicked she is, terrified. She's backing up.
Also a stupid hat.
And it's right there. It's right there where everything changes once a white guy gets involved and gets in front of the guy. Because now it's a fight, right? Not saying that you're going to win, but now it's at least a fight. And that's what it takes. It takes force. It takes force to answer force. And spoiler alert, women are not really built for the job. Sorry, bro. It sucks. That sucks. That poor Foyd who was resisting arrest at a gas station, spoiler alert, might make a great girlfriend for Jake. Won't make a good police officer. Leafy Guy for 2 says construction guy turned IT guy checking in. There you go. Got your feet in both worlds, so to speak. There you go. Heck yeah. Thank you, Leafy Guy. Appreciate that. Amorai Boy for 2 says Jake respects blue collar. Finally, I get some love, but you're the wrong color.
Yeah,
Right?
I respect all blue collar workers except for you specifically, Amorai Boy.
Except for you specifically. There you go. Thank you, Amorai Boy. Todd Dogs for 2 says George Carlin warned us about these people. People. It's a strange word. EBT Enjoyer for 440 joules says Uncle Alert. Truk, thank you very much. Appreciate that, sir. We got one over here on Ko-Fi. AppTac USA says Replay Gang, rise up. Dude, the stream's not even over yet. It's not even over yet. It's still going. We're almost 4 hours in, dude. We're almost 4 hours deep.
I'm so ready to go to sleep.
Speaking of deep, though, nutting inside of an Uma plushie for $3 says, I refuse to take criticism about video games from a dude whose arms are that small with man boobs. Guess what? You can actually be a functioning adult and play video games. It's true. You know, people can have hobbies, okay? People can have hobbies. It's fine. It's all right. Let me check that we're all done over here on Rumble, and we are. Which, Jake, that means you can go to bed. Tell the people where they can find you, what you want to say.
Where they can find me. Yeah, guys.
Give them your address. Give them your dox yourself, Jake. Where can we find you?
Because I know everybody wants to find me. No, yeah, you can find me here on Monday nights. Or
sometimes Fridays. You never know. If we
Big
do like
Toe
a 6-hour
Money
Halo
Monday.
night.
Maybe we'll do another Halo stream on Friday. Hopefully,
Play real
an
Halo on Friday?
actual good Halo. I might
We'll play
too.
community games Halo. We could do that. That could be fun.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thank you all for being here. Christ is King. Experience some friction in your life so that you can develop,
not with yourself, okay, with other people. The friction
so that you
doesn't
can
matter
develop
if it's by yourself.
virtues. You need to develop virtues and have consequences, because if you don't have consequences in your life, there will be consequences to not being consequential, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, totally. No, that was well said. That was very good, Jake. I appreciate that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to another Monday, another week of pursuing excellence. Okay, you know what? Instead of doing all this gay consequence stuff and talking about like virtues or whatever else, this Aristotelian nonsense that guy was spewing out, okay, we could go out there and get our jobs done. You know what? A lot of you guys got jobs. A lot of you guys got families to support, got people to support, but more importantly, you got me to support. And I don't mean financially, okay? I mean as a community, okay? We are a group of people, we're a nation, and together our struggle is imperative, okay? We have a job to do together. So one, check up on the homies, okay? Make sure that everybody's doing good. Do the most good that you can do in your own life and in other people's lives. Pray for the homies, go to church, get work done, dry fire, work out, eat good, all of the stuff that you're supposed to be doing anyways, guys, okay? That's kind of the baseline. Get out there, get after it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. God bless. Godspeed. Christ is King.
The glamour waking up. Shut it down. Me mom died in a Harley. Me pa was killed by Stalin. Me mom died in a Harley. Me pa was killed by Stalin. Ay, they got slimed up by Stalin. For my daddy in a coffin. I'm a Jew, Finkelstein. My uncle, my grandma was lying. So pulled up on me, mom, ayy. Put her in the count, ayy. Told her get a word or be turned into a lamb, ayy. Not in a Harley. Me pa was killed by Stalin. Me mom died in a Harley. Me pa was killed by Stalin. Ay, they got slimed up my grandma and my aunt in 1945. They were getting fucked up. Stalin put up on me, pa. Put him in the count, ayy. Then his op sprayed his ass with the fucking child. My mom died in a Harley. Me pa was killed by Stalin. Me mom died in a Harley. Me pa was killed by Stalin.